Hello and welcome to the episode 4 of our RoNCast, Realms and Ninjago podcast. Today it's just me, Baklava, and Ember, and I think in the latter half we might be joined by Angry and Rug, the part from tomorrow or yesterday, and otherwise we're joined by NinjaWhip and Marvellous.Jan. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Good to be here.
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're having him on for an interview, actually.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. It was supposed to be for the documentary, and I believe we can still go over, our questions.
Yeah, of course.
But our focus
actually,
is
I have
mostly
a question for you guys.
Oh,
If that's good. What did you
go
guys
ahead.
think of the What did you think of the documentary? How'd you feel about it?
Oh, it's great. I genuinely loved it.
I mean,
Thank you.
I have never enjoyed a Ninjago video or YouTube project as much as I enjoyed the 10 years documentary. It not only was it like enjoyment, it's long. Like that's a thing for some of the people I know. We were discussing it a few days ago, and some people were like, "Yeah, I really want to watch it, but it's 2 hours." I was like, "It's worth it. Just put it on, and it'll be done before you know it. It's that exciting."
Man, thank you so much.
It's entertaining and it's educational. I mean, as much
it was
as
also very
Ninjago.
nicely edited.
Yeah, we really loved.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the parts with the a lot of the behind the scenes stuff was really interesting to listen to.
Overall. Yeah, it was also like really cool to see all the other people that work at Ninjago.
Yeah, definitely. It was awesome talking to them and things like that, and it was great.
For sure. And funny enough, you were saying before, a lot of people think it's long at 2 hours. There is a lot of footage that ultimately didn't make the final cut. Like, it was at one point going to be more around the 4.5 hour mark. There's a lot.
Oh God, I can imagine.
But
we got at least about 10 hours of footage.
Yeah.
I would watch 12 hours of this.
I'm gonna watch it if I can get my hands on that full thing.
Like,
we're
if you
looking
could
at
just
different ways to get them out.
If you could have just gotten every year, like just 10 years of just concept art and set design and
right.
Scrap voice reels, that would have been incredible. But what we get is enough. That's the feeling.
And we plan to release another cut or just some random bloopers and things like that. Once in a few months or before the end of the year's out, we plan to release some more stuff. So I mean, just watch the channel. We'll have some more stuff coming out.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
All right. Well, I think this just parlays into our first question. Actually, we wanted to start back at the beginning. How did you guys get into Ninjago? What's your history? What kind of, how have you how did you, come to love this show? Maybe what's your favorite season?
Go for it, Jan.
Okay, so if we're talking way back at the beginning, I can proudly say that I am a day one fan of this little this little original property turned evergreen theme. Way back in the beginning, when it was just a 44-minute special that aired on Cartoon Network about some ninja fighting some skeletons, and well, we all know what it blossomed into eventually. But my story is pretty simple, really. I remember just seeing trailers for it on, I think it was Cartoon Network, with my brother. I was 9, I think, and I'm 20 now, so that, it's mental. But I remember watching the trailers and seeing like the set commercials and just being instantly intrigued by this new exciting theme, because before it, my field of interest was primarily like Star Wars and Power Miners. So this new theme looked incredibly exciting. And I was a Bionicle fan as well, and Bionicle had just ended.
Oh, nice. Represent.
Yeah, gotta love. And I was like, okay, Bionicle's done. I'm left with this empty void in me now. What comes next? And then that first Ninjago commercial came on. I'm like, this is it. This is the one. What that kid did not know is that it would last this long, and that I'd still be talking about it to this very day. But that's how I got into it, and then the rest is just history. Like, it's been quite the journey. and one I'm very, very honored and proud to still be taking to this very day.
All right. And
That's
you too, Jen?
fantastic.
What?
How are you, Jen? Or, sorry, how about you, Whip?
Well, back when I was around 7 years old, Ninjago was kind of blossoming itself into the world, and I was a huge Lego Star Wars fan at the time. And all of my friends weren't playing Star Wars anymore; they were playing with the new Ninjago sets. And the TV show hadn't come out yet at this time, but or the pilots haven't. And so I was really upset that no one wanted to play Star Wars anymore. Everyone wanted to play this whack ninja theme, and so I drugged my mother out to Toys R Us and got the Kai spinner. And that's when I fell in love with the theme. Was just, I liked the cool colored ninjas, and I liked the spinner and the gimmick aspect of the toys. I still do. I think some of the spinner and gimmick assets of the toys are some of the coolest things about the theme in general. And then we got into the pilots, and it was just phenomenal. I loved the stories. I fell in love with the characters, and I wanted more and more. It was awesome. And then I just became a huge fan, and have been collecting ever since, and haven't stopped, and have no plans to stop. So that's kind of my story.
All right. And I think we could work that into like our next part. What's your favorite season, guys?
Favorite season, man. That's
always the
hard.
hardest question to ask any
That's
Ninjago
hard.
fan.
Yeah, no kidding.
Really
Honestly,
is.
right now, I mean, I switch all the time, but like right now, I know this is kind of like a cop out, but Seabound was my most enjoyed season right now. I just had a blast with that season. I've absolutely loved every single episode, and I thought it was fantastic. I really, really, really did love that season.
Oh yeah.
So right
No
now, it's my
spoiler
favorite
discussion.
season.
Might as well mention.
Of course.
We can't
Yeah,
do spoiler
absolutely.
discussion until like at the end. I think.
Yeah, with the
we
end
we can say spoilers and just do a small discussion right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Jan?
Understandable.
So kind of like Brayden, I tend to bounce back and forth a lot, but ultimately I always circle back to the same season, and it's a little bit of a controversial choice, but I'm always going to go with the second season, the Final Battle, Stone Warriors.
Yes.
Because that era, I like the sound of that, by the way. That era, I think, is just where I was like at my peak as a Ninjago fan in my younger years, where nowadays it's like constant, but that season holds a lot of near and dear memories with me.
Oh yeah.
Red Baklava, season 2 fans.
Season 2 was great to watch back in the day.
Season 2 was
1
great.
Oh, absolutely. Like I personally think that is like remains the most underrated season. I think it deserves a lot more love than it gets.
Almost overhated sometimes.
It really
Exactly.
is. I 100% agree. I think that season is I call it now. It's called Legacy of the Green Ninja, but back when we were fans, it was called the Final Battle.
Mhm.
And so I
Oh,
still
yeah.
call it the Final Battle.
Back in my
It
day.
also had that game,
Yeah.
from what I would remember.
Mhm.
And I mean, as a
Yeah.
final battle season, it's superb. Like if they had just ended, I mean, thankfully they didn't end the show then. But if they had ended the show after season 2,
Yeah, they did intend it.
would have been great. That was.
I don't know if that
Exactly.
actually made it into the documentary. There was a whole story on why and how Ninjago didn't end.
Oh, yeah.
And the fans were pissed, and the parents were so upset that they called and just called Lego and like raged on Lego. And then one Lego store employee at the time got the news to Lego, and they were okay. This is bigger than we thought it was. This is bigger than us. Let's continue it. So they.
I heard.
They kept going.
Called Simon and they said, "Keep going."
Yeah, they did.
Such
Incredible.
a great decision.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely. Because now we get to be here all these years later doing this.
Oh yeah.
Now, speaking of this, what's it like being a Lego ambassador, a member of the Lego Ambassador Network?
Oh man.
Any upsides, downsides?
Frankly, we're still relatively new to it.
Yeah, we just got in just 2 weeks ago, I'd say.
Yeah,
but it is. It's really cool. I mean, the sad part is we really can't talk about new stuff like the leaks. We can't really join in those discussions. But that's okay. I mean, we get a lot of perks, and we get to spread out our community in other ways, and it's really cool to get to learn about the interior of Lego and how it works and things like that. And being an ambassador is such an honor because in our case, they wanted us to make a Ninjago community as recognized, not just NinjaWhip or Marvellous Jan being recognized. They wanted the entire community being recognized. And so that's what we're doing right now, is setting that up and getting that ready to go, because by July, we want to start inviting people that are 18 years or older to join us and get those land perks and join us in things like that throughout the entire community. And so that's what we're working on right now.
Yeah,
I don't know about Jan, but
it's really exciting. Look, frankly, it feels like a dream, because as a child, this was like something I'd always wanted to be a part of. So the fact that I'm here now, I'm consistently expecting somebody to pinch me and like wake up from this like absolute joyous dream. But the fact that it's reality, like constantly, just my mind can't keep up half the time. But so far, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm incredibly excited to see where we go from here.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as far as leaks go, anyways, you can just, as Sensei Wu says, I guess, patience. You know,
That's true.
eventually the sets will
100%.
release.
That's
Exactly.
Let the others do the talking about the leaks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One thing I do think is interesting is that, as you've just mentioned, that Lego is looking into Ninjago as a more mature audience than some of their other themes, which is, I feel like is a bit left out. Like, I mean, obviously, since it's a TV show, it's gonna have more of a reach than just the sets alone. But from my experience, at least, I mean, even 5-6 years ago, on Tumblr and other communities, it felt like the Ninjago community was more adult than than Chima or even older fans. Like when Bionicle was airing, the fans felt a lot younger than Ninjago does now. So it's nice to hear that Lego's acknowledging that, at least.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think they've realized just what a unique, special theme they have on their hands with Ninjago. It's not just your average play theme to come and go. This one is one that's stuck with people, and the fact that they're realizing it now and acting on it and building this community, I think it really speaks to what Ninjago's achieved over the past decade. Like, it's really something quite extraordinary.
Man, I mean, it has been a full decade now. So
Yeah, it's hard to wrap your mind around. And what I was 9 when I first saw my first Ninjago set.
Okay, same.
Or 10.
I was around 5.
You'll get this old someday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it all, is that we have, new fans coming in all the time and get to hear their stories and what they experienced when they first joined Ninjago. I mean, a lot of day one fans have similar stories, but like, what about a person that joined in SOG or a person that joined in Skybound? Like, their stories are so unique because they came in at the tail end, and like how they caught up and things like that. That's something really special about this theme, is that there's so many fans coming in and out of it all the time. It just goes on a complete cycle.
Yeah, just thinking about that people didn't start watching at the pilots is just really amazing to me for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you have to consider how much they have to get back through, but like, it's great, and in that way, I guess it helps that Ninjago does make its season standalone-ish.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
It's not like Bionicle, where most stuff is like really interconnected.
Oh, speaking of Bionicle, Jan, I want to, I mentioned this earlier, represent, but I want to know what was it like being a Bionicle fan too?
Oh, I was like really young when Bionicle, back in my day, you see, Bionicle was the big thing, and for the time, I thoroughly enjoyed being a Bionicle fan. I think I got into it around 2006, around like the Tora and Naiko wave, and then I was kind of with it all the way up until it ended in 2010. And while it lasted, for that like small time I was a Bionicle fan, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't think it could be topped, and I was proven incredibly wrong just the next year. So it's quite impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I had a similar story. I guess it was 2009 when I first found my first Bionicle book at basically secondhand from a neighbor. It was one of the Toa Nuva stories. And then when I eventually got to like gain the sets, they were already on the stars.
Oh yeah.
So-
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was no going back at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really interesting to like compare the two themes, I suppose.
It is
definitely like.
Yeah,
Go
I know
ahead.
there's a lot. No, sorry. I just I know there's a lot of people like, who will consistently compare the two. I don't think Bionicle really got the opportunity to celebrate its 10th anniversary, did it? Because it ended
got
the year
its-
before.
Greg did release like some unfinished serial chapters for the in 2011, I think.
Yeah, that does ring a
Hmm.
bell. And I guess that was like my biggest hope with Ninjago was that we would get a proper 10th anniversary celebration.
Mm.
And boy, did they exceed in just about every regard. Like, they went off. They
Yeah.
went next level
It
this
was-
year, and they still are. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's not over yet. We got a lot of content to go.
Hopefully.
With the shorts still coming out,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
I
boy.
think there are some books also coming out as well.
Yes.
the
In
Spinjitzu
September.
Brother books.
Brothers, yeah. We actually there was Tommy Kalmar who did some of those books. Actually talked about them in the documentary. That unfortunately never made it, but hopefully we'll be able to put that out before the books come out because
Hmm.
it kind of reveals kind of the overall plot. And since we have no idea, what's kind of going on in the books, we only have like a few book covers and maybe a few pages. We could show off some of those pictures that he gave us and what he kind of said about the books because they're really interesting, and I think the fans are really going to love these books, and I can't
Yeah.
wait for people to read them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to them myself, and I haven't
It's
been
great
able to say
they're
that
also
about like a
doing
book in
books
a while.
besides the show.
Yeah, no kidding. And I saw the Elemental Powers book as well, so that'll be really interesting.
Yeah.
Never
Actually,
mind.
Oh yeah,
that'll be
finishing
really
off
interesting.
those powers. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
So back to the documentary. What is it? You mentioned earlier you had like 12 hours or so. But specifically working on the thing, who was your favorite person to interview, maybe, or what was it like getting all that footage together and editing it? We can do one or the other first.
I'm gonna go with favorite interview, and that had to be Brent Miller for me, because when we were on call with Brent, we were on call with that man for 4 hours, I believe.
Mhm.
We
Yep.
stayed on call with him for hours, and there's a lot of stuff that you don't see because we didn't. He asked us not to record it, but I'm sure he would like us talking about it. But he essentially sat us all down and had a heart to heart with us, and told us that we should do everything in our power to reach our goals and dreams in life, and how we should get there, how we should take the next step to reach our dreams and to reach our goals, and to don't stop until we get at that point. And it was just it was incredible. And it really, it boosts your spirits a lot, especially with the COVID pandemic and all that. It's just a great thing to hear him say all that stuff for us. And so and look where it's gotten us now. I mean, we're doing all kinds of stuff, and I really appreciate everything he's said to us and everything that he did for us. It was utterly incredible, and
Yeah.
that was definitely one of my favorite interviews for sure.
Yeah. See, it's really, really tough to pick because every single one of those interviews was fun and fascinating in its own regard. But I think I am going to have to agree with Brayden because Brent Miller, the voice actor for Zane, for anyone who might not know, really just came down to earth with us and just talked to us like human beings. Like in that moment, he really embodied everything Wu is in the show and just imparted all that wisdom onto us, and it was really
did.
quite the unforgettable experience. I don't think any of us
It
were
was
prepared
incredible.
for it. We were just left sitting there like, what just happened? Did that just happen?
Man, that was
Yeah.
awesome. I would go back and relive that 100%. Like that was
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
utterly incredible.
for sure. Yeah. So how did you get like most of the people onto your interview or to interview? You just like reached out and asked, hey, we're doing a podcast. Would you be interested? Or we're doing an interview, or we're doing a documentary. Would you be interested in like telling us, your behind the scenes kind of experience?
Well, that's a really good question because it was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
we had contacts with people that work on Ninjago before all this happened, and so essentially Jan wanted originally, and Jan, you could tell this because you wanted to make a documentary originally.
So to go back, I think it's like the end of 2019, with the 10-year anniversary coming up, I originally wanted to do a 6-part mini series going through the show in the style of what the documentary ultimately was. But I soon realized just how massive the scale was and how difficult it would be to pull off on my own. So I kind of just put it on the back burner. But I had already shared the idea publicly, and then I think it was not too long after I get a message from Brayden on Instagram saying, "Dude, we got to make this happen. We can't let this, we can't let this idea die out. This is too amazing. We got to get it working." And so piece by piece, we just started. We put a team together, Brayden, myself, and the incredible Haley Wolf and Joshua Deck. The 4 of us, we came together and we just started building. I think we all kind of had our own contacts in our own regards.
Yeah, we did.
We
and
yeah.
What happened was that I was like, okay, well, we need a pitch. Everything starts with a pitch. And so what I did was I went on a Google Doc and just started writing everything that we wanted to do in the documentary and listed who we had on, who we needed, and my contact information for people to contact us. And I knew Michael Knapp at the time because we had texted on Twitter. So I took that link, shot it to him, and said, "Hey, what do you think of this? Is this something that you would be interested in doing for an interview? We want to make this a big thing. Is there anything that Lego could do for us at all to make this thing happen? Anything works. Please let me know. Thank you." And then I waited, and he got back to me and said, "This is an amazing idea. We love this. We want to go full on with this, and we'll do whatever you need to make it happen." Essentially, is what happened. And so I was like, okay, fantastic. So essentially from there, we got the go ahead. We were freaking out. We were like, oh my god, okay, this is actually going to happen. We're going to make this work. It's going to be great. And so Michael got me in contact with the AFAR engagement team, and he also got me in contact with a lot of things just to clear some things up. We could use the episodes in the thing, and we would have access to a bunch of concept art and unreleased sets and things like that to use in the documentary to show off and things like that, and exclusive stuff. It was very kind of them to send that out to us. So that's kind of where it went. I reached out to Jan. I put a team together. We got all that. I wrote out a Google Doc. I sent it, and I kind of organized the entire thing. And from there, we got together and started interviewing people, and it was awesome. Jan helped me. Yeah, Jan did a lot of work too with getting in contact with Tommy and getting them on board, and Tommy helped us out a little bit getting in contact with people. So, we did everything we could to get in contact with people, because some of the people we've already talked to and things like that. But unfortunately, we couldn't get everybody on because we just didn't have either the time, or we just didn't really have the resources to get to that person.
Yeah, the world was in a very interesting place around this time. So
yeah,
we definitely exceeded everything we had planned. I think that goes without saying at all.
Definitely.
I think there are things the 4 of us wish we could have done, to add on to it, other things. But for the most part, we checked off everything we wanted to do and did so in mighty fine style, if I may say so myself.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was really interesting to just see so many people. Sometimes some of them I would expect, some of them I didn't expect. For example, Britt McKillop. I know she's a wonderful actress. I didn't expect her to be on a Ninjago podcast. Or Tooth Dominus. Nick van Slagmat. It's a Dutch name. I can't pronounce it. But certainly I didn't expect him, renowned designer.
He's
wonderful
he's
guy.
A great guy. And me and him had kind of, because when I started praising his Thunder Raider is when me and him kind of fell into contact, and we started talking. So I asked him if he wanted to be on it, and he was like, "Oh, heck yeah, I would love that." And then Britt McKillop, I think, Sam Vincent helped us contact her, and that's how we got her on, because she was such a loved character in the community.
Oh yeah,
So,
Harumi was
we wanted to get
next
her on
levels.
Yeah.
The popularity of Harumi just cemented Brit's involvement in this. We're like, okay, we have to get in contact with Brit.
And she had no idea. Like,
yeah,
it
we
was so
didn't think
funny
we could
'cause
do
when
it. And then
Right. And then, but it was
Boom.
funny because when we got on with her, she was like, the fans actually like my character. Like, she was so oblivious to the whole community, and she had no idea that the fans actually really loved her character. She just,
I wouldn't say
she
we-
did her job and went home at the end of the day.
We don't
But
like her, I guess, but she is a wonderful, interesting villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. As for a villain, you know, people like really enjoyed her character and thought she was a great villain and things like that.
She did also like do really nice voice acting.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she killed it. She definitely did great with it. It was awesome.
Every time she's
She's
in the
very
show, it's
awesome person
wonderful.
to talk to. Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Like,
as
she
we
did
were
that-
speaking to her, we're like,
I think in
all we
Prime
can
Empire
hear
she
is
did a-
Harumi.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think in Prime Empire she was like she did a chef somewhere in the background, like one of the sushi.
Oh,
Waitresses.
Yeah, she.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
think
can
she
catch
did
that.
that character as well. Yeah, I was in. Yeah.
But speaking of people you interviewed, you mentioned Haley and Josh. I know, Jan, you've got what is it? You've got Josh in the Marvellous cast, I believe.
Correct.
A
Yep.
Relatively big. I need to look up like who's on that podcast eventually. But yeah, what's it like working with Haley from TTV and Josh from Joshua Deck, I suppose.
Pretty awesome.
You know, it's funny. Every time like a question like this is asked, I always go back to like 2 years ago, like 2019, where when I was a very, very, very tiny name, nobody knew who I was. I followed Brayden, Josh, Haley on Twitter. You know, these were like the people I looked up to. They inspired me. And then it's like a year later, we're all in. You know, we got a team. We're making a documentary. It's like, what happened? Like, when did this happen? Frankly, working with them is an absolute honor, and it is so much fun. We've been through a lot over the past year, and I'd say almost a year and a half now. It's been quite some time. We've been through a lot together, and there's still a lot more to come. And working with these guys, looking back, honestly, has been one of the most fun experiences of my whole life, and something I will just cherish till the end of days, really.
Definitely. I feel the same, honestly. Haley and Josh, they have such amazing personalities and they're such great people. I love them both to death. And being able to work with Jan, love him to death, you know, it's just been a dream come true to work with all of us. And really we all have hardworking spirits and we all want to get things done and we all share the same passion for Ninjago, I feel like. And so that's
Definitely.
where we just click like really easy, you know, we were meant to find each other is what I'm trying to say. This was supposed to happen between us four, definitely.
So yeah, any funny stories from making the thing actually? No.
There's
Certainly.
so many.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, especially ones with Vincent Tong. That dude's a goofball. He is.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
hilarious.
he's great.
I mean, a couple of lines made it in. You know, what is it?
Mhm.
No, wait, no, that was Brent's lines about, you know, a funny cat. What I look at.
The dude was so funny. So like he threatened to fight Josh with a stick. That was something that happened. He said he was going to fight Josh with a stick. So that was interesting.
Yeah. For context, we were talking about the PC game stick fight, and I think Vincent only heard part of that. And he just heard stick and fight. It's like, okay, Josh, I'll fight you with a stick. And that man, he's hilarious.
He is something, dude. He is the funniest guy I've ever met in my life. Like honestly, everything that dude said like just made me laugh. The dude has such a great personality. He's so funny. Oh, and something else that happened. I think this was actually in the documentary was when you know, Michael Kramer was getting all hyped for his you know, flute, and then he was sitting there blowing at it and he couldn't get it to play. So he's like, oh, that's not worth. That's not. Yep. Nope. It's not going to play. So it was so funny just to see him run around his room, grabbing all these instruments and showing us which season he played them for. I think that's in the documentary. I'm almost certain it is, and it's
it is in the
Yeah, it is.
documentary.
funny.
I remember
Probably
that
one of the
very
best
vividly.
parts.
That was cool, right? That was awesome.
He was
That's
just
my
blowing
favorite
on
part.
it, and
That whole music
Yeah.
section is my favorite part of the documentary.
Oh,
Yeah, I
definitely
really
nice
like
to
that
see
too.
What
It
they
was-
used for Hunted and stuff.
Yeah, it was really eye opening, and I felt like that was a great part of the documentary. Like I went into it thinking I was like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna see the whatever the preliminary shots, the concept art and stuff. But it ended up being like really interesting stuff, and I don't know if that information has been anywhere. Like this is the first time that
we're some of the first to cover that actually, and you learned something, didn't you? You learned all about stuff, didn't you?
Lot.
So I mean, right? We try to make it educational for fans, and we try to make it educational just for like I mean anybody really. I mean you can learn something about instruments and not be a Ninjago fan in this. I mean there's so much you can pick up from this. And that's kind of what we wanted, was to try to make it not just a Ninjago fan. Like let's say you were a regular Lego fan and you wanted to just learn something about Lego. You wanted to learn about how a Lego TV show is made. Well then, boom, all your answers are here in this documentary. So we kind of wanted to make it for everybody, and I think we
that and like
pretty well.
If you're a Lego if you want to know how like Lego designs things or how the toys come together, it's really neat to see the concept art and the models that make it in and the models that don't. Like that Skybound plane. Thanks to the last one.
Yeah,
and the
concept
Monastery of
art
Ice
was really great.
Oh shit, yeah.
That that actually that was almost in development. It just didn't fit with the story, and so it never came out. I believe it was supposed to come out for SOG, judging by the minifigs that were in it, but it wasn't in the story, so it never made it to shelves. So it was canceled pretty early on.
Yeah, eventually
it was an $80 set.
I think it was supposed to be for like what is it, summer or even December 2018. December 2018. So. I remember distinctly.
It was a December 1st release. Yeah, they were going to release it December 1st, and it was on Amazon listed. Because remember, I found that listing. And it had 700 something pieces. It was $80. Going to release on December 1st, and had a name and everything ready to go for it, but no images. And so I was generally curious. So I asked Michael, "Hey, is there any possible chance we could get that image and show it off?" And I just want to see what it looked like, because I mean, we found it and had no idea. He said, "Yeah, I'll grab it for you." I was like, "Whoa, this is actually really cool." It ended up being a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and it just really sucks I didn't make it. But you can kind of see like, oh, it didn't fit in the story, so it didn't make it. Or this, that Nindroid space shuttle, that thing is freaking awesome, but it never made it because they didn't think it was going to sell well with kids.
Are they kidding?
They had a lot of stuff.
I mean, to be fair, we do get lots of space shuttles of Lego.
I mean, a space shuttle with like Nindroid aesthetic, that seems like it's down. I mean, a lot of my favorite Ninjago sets really are just like the ones that go ham with their concept.
Oh yeah, definitely. Those are some of the best, the crazier ones for sure.
And this is where the legacy sub theme can really come in handy with these old models that never got a chance to hit shelves the first go around. Legacy can kind of breathe some life into some potential future sets, like the Overlord Dragon, for instance. We never had that before, but Legacy came out and delivered. So I've got my fingers crossed for an Nindroid space shuttle. I think a lot of people do. Let's
the Serpentine train.
Yeah, the
Serpentine train
fortress would be nice.
Yeah.
Or the treehouse. I mean,
certainly any locations actually.
Or even
like those Stone Army Camp.
Definitely
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I would love more location builds in Ninjago personally, because I mean, those end up being some of my favorites in my opinion, and the dragons.
I mean, season 13 really showed how good they could be, so it's definitely nice to see more.
Yeah,
even the island had a good one.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
13 was a peak. Yeah. While we're going on this, you mentioned Tommy, and I believe Peter Hausner, and a couple other guys. Certainly the Hagemans, Bragi. What was it like talking to him? What's it like talking to your heroes? I guess, in a way,
it was incredible. It was really special, because we grew up loving what they've done for the show. We grew up listening to everything that they've said, everything they put on the internet, and it was incredible to talk to them and meet them and to get acknowledgement from them. And it's really cool to be able to still talk to them and ask them questions, and it's
they
an
really
incredible,
all just became they all felt like old friends by the end of it. Like
definitely.
they in no way felt like they at no point gave off the vibes of I'm better than you or I've achieved more than you. They're all just the kindest, most relatable people under the sun, and I think that definitely reflects a lot in the show that they've made over the years. They're all just the best people you can ever talk to.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, might as well pivot this one towards fan base stuff. What's it like seeing the fan base change, grow? Jen, you've been a fan for 10 years. Same with you, Whip, and I believe both of you have come from different backgrounds. You certainly know like different contexts. So what's it like seeing them like evolve? What's it like seeing?
I don't have kids, but I imagine it's like watching them grow before your very eyes. Because I remember the community way before the internet, way before Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, you name it. Back in the days where the only forms of communication we had were the comment sections on YouTube and the forums on Lego.com to talk with one another. Those really were simpler times, but the show and the franchise as a whole just grew up, and the fan base grew up with it. And I think now, especially like current day, following the end of Seabound, the community is like, it's evolved so much, but now more than ever, we really have come together as a community to just praise what the show has become. And it's really heartwarming and touching to see, actually, because I think it goes without saying, the show's had its fair share of moments that have prompted the community to go into certain states, let's say. But now more than ever, I think we're in a really good, especially celebrating the 10-year anniversary. The community's really been brought together in a way I personally have never seen over the past decade, and it's just really heartwarming to see.
Yeah. For me, really, I've been on YouTube ever since Ninjago came out. I joined Instagram way back in 2012 and interacted a lot with other community members. At that time, it was big, but like I kind of like had a little bubble where I stayed in. Like, I followed a few people, and I made my own custom green ninja out of paint and things like that. Those days type deal. And so I watched the community grow up, and I watched people go. But the thing that just really hits home with me is seeing those people come back and seeing them comment on this documentary. I read all the comments on it, and people are like, "Oh, I stopped watching Ninjago at season 3 or Skybound, and I'm just, because of this documentary, I'm gonna finish it and come back to this documentary and watch it and be a part of this community again." And I'm like, holy crap, that's like, it's one of the most heartwarming things ever, because like we did that. We prompted them to come back to the community and join us again and get back into it. And that's it feels so good. It feels so good to see the old fans come back, and it feels so good to get new fans come in because of this documentary. And it's awesome. It truly is an incredible thing to see.
Yeah, it's really neat to see the. I mean, yeah, I think that works, Jan. As like growing up, it almost works as like either as a parent to this community, or just like growing up with the community, seeing it change, seeing new people join.
Yeah, it's kind of like both at the same time. It's like, because I definitely grew up with this community, but also I've watched it happen over the full time it's been here, so it kind of feels like I'm watching my kids grow up, even though I'm way too young to even have kids. It's a
because we
you're right,
new
that
fans
weird line. Exactly that.
Yeah.
And
that's something that I want to promote on here, if that's okay. With the new fans, I know a lot of people get into arguments and things like that, and I'm not trying to be sit here on my soapbox, but like with these new fans, we need to encourage them to be, we need to encourage them to be either better than us, because when they come in, you don't want them to see all this negativity and stuff. You want to like lift them up and you want to like be as kind as you can. I'm not perfect anyway, nor is anybody else in this community. I'm just saying, it would be really cool to like get some fans in to the community and then show them a good community rather than a really toxic community.
Oh, for sure. Like
Definitely.
I remember, like around 2016, 2017, big names like, I might as well name them. Ninja Warrior 1245. That he was a big guy back in the day.
Yeah, it was.
That's crazy to imagine.
Yeah, I used to really watch his stuff. And David, I used to. I used to look up to David when I was a kid a lot. So I watched his stuff a lot. So it was.
It's definitely important to like make it a more open, welcoming kind of community, rather than people who like scorn you sometimes. But fan base stuff, creative people. We've mentioned Josh once. Anybody else you kind of like notice you want to shout out maybe? Artists, Marcus, writers. Oh, for sure.
Haley is an incredible
Haley Wolf.
editor. She is phenomenal.
She masterfully edited this entire documentary. Like she just took it on and crafted something amazing out of what we had already gathered.
Really
so
it's phenomenal.
I honestly can't applaud Haley enough for her editing, nor Josh for his incredible poster that he did.
Yeah, like poster's awesome.
Truly two of the most talented people I've ever had the honor of knowing.
Same here. Incredible people.
If I were to sit here and shout people out, we'd be here all day because
we have all day mostly.
This community is filled with some of the most talented individuals I've ever had the honor of knowing. To think of them all off the top of my head is near impossible, but I like to think anybody who knows me, you know who you are, and you know who I'm shouting out right now. And I'm working on a list, trust me, because there's a lot of you.
Yeah, same goes for me. And shout out to you guys for inviting us on here and kind of getting the word out there. I really, really appreciate that. So ultimately, if we should be shouting anybody out, it should be you guys. And we really appreciate you guys reaching out and letting us come on and talk with you guys for a bit. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh,
we should mostly thank Grammatical. He's the mastermind behind all of this.
I figured it would be a nice tie-in, given you guys just released the documentary. We pushed it back a little bit, but at the same time, I think better late than never.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly right. If I may very quickly, I just thought now is a good time to. The documentary is a lot more than just the four. It's more than just me, Brayden, Haley, and Josh. There are three other individuals who contributed very heavily towards it. One being Sam, aka Jumbo Gauge, who runs his own YouTube and channel and Twitch channel, who edited the fan section of the documentary, and just overall was a brilliant support during the whole process. So big shout out to Sam.
Shout out to Akuma Zen. She did most of our oh my gosh, what are they called? Trailers. She did the trailers, and me and her got on those and worked on those together. And couldn't done this without her. Great girl. Yep. She's fantastic.
She made our end credits, and she's one of the Marvellous cast's very own. So shout out to my family in Akuma, and last shout out to Legend of Ninjago for designing all of our draw-dropping visuals from the name tags to the logo itself.
Yeah.
Honestly, those three, there'd be no documentary without any of them. So shout out to those three for just helping bring it all home.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even the people behind the scenes deserve lots of praise for what they did.
Definitely.
Definitely. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's quite the insight, I guess. I want to round this out. I think that was a great place to end off a little bit of this, but I do want to do a rapid fire kind of thing, or not really rapid fire, I suppose. Things that you like, things that you don't like. How would you rank the seasons?
Oh, funny you mentioned that. Actually, I just updated my rankings today. Funnily enough,
nice.
I did as well.
Okay, I'll keep it quick. Do you want me to go through the whole list, all the entries?
Yeah. Just see if you can just
go through. No problem.
Okay, I'm gonna make this quick, and to everybody listening, I'm sorry because I'm going to annoy at least one person. So from Should I go top to bottom or bottom to top?
I think bottom to top normally just builds up the suspense.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. So from bottom to top, so the bottom, it goes. I know this off my memory. It goes Hands of Time, Day of the Departed, the Fire chapter, Skybound, the Island, the Ice chapter. What was it? Then I think it was the Pilots, Rebooted. Rebooted. What was after Rebooted? I think it then went Hunted. Possession, then Hunted, then Tournament, then March of the Oni, then Rise of the Snakes, then you go Seabound, Master of the Mountain, Sons of Garmadon, Prime Empire, and then Season 2.
Not bad.
That's
At least
I've
it's
never
not
heard
season one
exactly
at the
like that.
bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whip, you have any general
man.
ideas?
Yeah, I could probably, like you said, spit fire a bit. So, at the bottom it would probably be, to be honest, probably March of the Oni, honestly. No, I take that back. Probably the Fire chapter, most likely. Probably the Fire chapter, and then I would say the Island, March of the Oni. I would probably go, oh my lord, Ice chapter, Hands of Time, because I love the Time Twins. Those are great villains. And
Finally,
then,
someone who also likes the Time Twins.
dude, the Time Twins are so great. And then Day of the Departed, and then the Pilots. Also, what did I not cover? Oh, Prime Empire. I really like Prime Empire. Pretty good. And then I would go Season 2, Rebooted, Tournament of Elements, Seabound. No, Seabound's at the top. So then I go Tournament of Elements, Rise of the Snakes, Possession, Hunted, Sons of Garmadon, Seabound. I don't know if I missed any, but I think I got them all.
All right. Yeah. Any what is it? Favorite Ninjago sets or recent Ninjago sets, and then favorite just general Ninjago sets?
Ooh.
Certainly, just like I think
It might be a hard
it
question.
just for recent we can just like keep it in between like this winter wave and then like the March wave, and then for
Oh, sweet.
in general, yeah, we can just do anything in general.
So my favorite winter 2021 set has to be probably, and again, this might be a cop out, but Tournament of Elements, just because the Elemental Masters, and since Michael Knapp designed this set also, and I just love the overall build. I just think it's such an upgrade towards the tournament of, what is it called? Dojo Showdown from 2015.
Mm-hmm.
This one's just so great.
It's more accurate, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Both are pretty great sets.
Jan?
I'm staring at it right
Jen?
now. This may seem like a cop out as well. I gotta go with the Gardens.
Oh, is this
because that counts, right? The Gardens.
Yeah.
As like a recent thing.
The Gardens is really great. Lots of references.
is it cutting
and
out for you guys?
No, it's good for me.
No, all good.
Oh yeah,
Is
Gardens is
what
really
is Jan
great.
Jan cutting out?
Yeah, I'm not hearing Jan.
No, right here.
Oh.
Hang on. Are you guys cutting out or is it
No,
okay?
no, I'm silent.
I'm good.
Oh yeah,
can
for a
hear
second I
everything.
thought my
Okay.
computer was getting screwed up. Okay.
That's better. Everything went really weird for a second there.
Oh,
You were saying the Gardens?
Yeah. I think for recent, I'm gonna have to go the Gardens.
What
Because
about
how
all-time
can you not?
favorites?
All time. I'm gonna say all time the Monastery from 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick.
Just
and for me, be the dungeons, the Skull Sorcerer's
Oh, yeah.
dungeons. I
Oh, the
absolutely
Skull
love that
Sorcerers.
set.
mhm.
Yeah.
Such a nice display set.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a very nice big skull.
Yeah.
Mhm. Good play set too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Love the.
Who are you guys yeah.
Word theme.
Yeah, who are you guys like
Mhm.
favorite characters and favorite side characters maybe? And certainly like if you wanted to make a CMF, with just side characters, what would you want to do?
A CMF with side characters, I could tell you right now. Antonia, Nelson, Dr. Julian. We definitely have to pull in Racer 7. Probably
Is it going walking again?
Twitchy Tim, definitely. Those characters really stick with me the most that we haven't gotten. Like those are the ones that I really want. I really want Misdemeanor as well. I really like her. She's really cool.
Yeah. I like the puns.
Yeah. Yeah, Wildbrand has a lot. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
Wildbrand
really
has
do.
some really good
And then as
characters.
far as favorite character goes, right now it's Cole, definitely. Since Master of the Mountain, I've just absolutely loved his character.
Oh, yeah.
I've always really loved his character, but he really stuck with me in Master of the Mountain because of how personable he was, and it really reminded me a little bit about myself, and so I really liked his character a lot.
Yeah.
All right, and Jan?
Definitely agree with you on the Cole front. I think since Sons of Garmadon, he kind of became my number one. I just look at him and I just kind of see myself, but without the six-pack, But that being said, like every time I'm asked this, I'm like, okay, Cole's my favorite ninja. But
Jen, you mentioned side characters already?
I kind of gotta say Garmadon because he's just so lovable, especially in March of the Oni. Like that incarnation of Garmadon, I think will always be my favorite character in the show, hands down. But Aquino is pretty great too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, Kino, such a relatable character.
Exactly. I think I've garnered a little bit of a reputation for being the Aquino.
You grew out your hair?
I did actually, yes. For a short time there, I did. Went through my Aquino phase.
Such a good face.
All right.
What was the other question? Sorry, I kind of cut out on my end a little bit.
It was mostly just favorite characters, favorite side characters.
Okay.
I did it one that was like CMF full of figures, but I realized you could just take every single Wildbrand character and just make it
Really could, yeah.
Make it a CMF. I mean, it's diverse enough. You have enough different kinds of like designs that you could make a CMF out of them, and you don't even have to sell this Ninjago. They're all basically different themes and whatnot. So
exactly.
But I think we're just gonna finish this off with how you thought of Seabound.
The Upley.
We're gonna. I don't know how brief we can make it, but basically, this is where we hit the spoilers. You can do spoilers here.
If you guys are in if you guys are in the audience and haven't seen Seabound yet and still want to watch it,
Yeah, you can just pop on out.
Time to hop out.
Well,
Right, nobody has.
Seabound was absolutely phenomenal, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I thought it was great. I thought the storytelling was great. I also loved Paper Girl with Antonia and Nelson riding around, kind of getting a different perspective on the whole chaos. Those are some of my favorite episodes, is when we get different perspectives on like what's going on in Ninjago City. Especially, the fact that it continued the battle with Kalmar and that they got involved was even better. And it kind of continued into the next episode, which was really nice. And I loved Nia's send-off. I truly did. It was very sad. I got very emotional, but it was awesome. And it was beautiful. And ultimately, I couldn't have done it better any other way. I thought it was done so perfectly, in my opinion.
Yeah. Exactly. I couldn't have said any better myself. Like, I think I did a post on Twitter earlier, but this season really just kind of fired off on all cylinders and exceeded everybody's expectations. It gave us a story none of us were quite ready for, I think. It did so much in what feels like such a short time, and it did so seamlessly and flawlessly. Like, it really harkens back to the vibes and the feeling of like the Oni trilogy, which I know a lot of people wanted back. So to the fans who wanted that, this is definitely the season for you, because this one is not afraid to hold back and will hit you in like the emotional feels a lot.
Definitely.
That ending.
Yeah, that's a really
sure.
great way of putting it.
Neat.
Yeah.
It also doesn't feel like a 60-minute season, 16 episode season.
It feels longer,
It
honestly.
feels so long. Like And
Yeah.
none of the episodes feel rushed. Like I didn't even realize they were 10-minute episodes until I was halfway through. It's like,
Yeah.
did they go back to the
I just love
22-minute
the
format?
44-minute
Nope.
finale. Like, I thought that was a great way to do a finale, was drag it out in 4 episodes. Like, that was great. That's how you do a finale. That was
like
perfect.
Possession, almost.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. I mean,
exactly.
yeah, it really was a 44-minute finale. It was 2 parts. So, I mean, that's how you do a finale, dude. Like, that was great.
Yeah, they have. I think when Secrets came out, a lot of the community was divided. They had this new way of doing storytelling, but it was taking a little bit of adjustment. I think by Master of the Mountain, they've really mastered that format, and Seabound is living proof that they have got it on lockdown now, and they are not afraid to tell.
I would say
a very
even Master of
brave
the Mountain
story in
is
doing so.
about the same caliber of quality as Seabound.
I would say so as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That didn't cut out, right?
No.
Also, like Nia's death was, or not death, but like her departure was like handled really nicely.
Okay.
Definitely. I agree. I thought that was fantastic. The
I
way that
mean,
went.
Should we maybe like loop into one last question before we end this up?
I feel like we could end it off, but if you want to do another
I'd
question,
kind of like to know what. Well, obviously,
feel free.
if you guys have seen any leaks, it might be slightly spoiled. But what do you think about the future of the show?
Future of the show.
The future of the show after Seabound, which
I
of course
think,
is just
I think it has so much potential to keep going. I think it, there's so many stories to be told, and with each season, something happens to where, kind of like the Venstone thing, essentially, where that could be explored more in the future, like it has been in these past few seasons. It's been explored more, and I think like if they were to shoot down a wormhole that way, like they did in Master of the Mountain, there could be more stories like that. I think that would be amazing if they came up with something new, or what really I would love is a space season. I know that probably will never happen, but I really love like if somehow some alien race invented some sort of like supersonic thing and found their way into Ninjago, would be super cool. Or I don't know. There's just so much potential, and there's just so much. It can go on. There's so much stuff that they could do going forward, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think those are. I think there's plenty of things to look forward to as Ninjago fans. I hope we continue to be in as good hands as we've been so far. I mean,
I think we will be. I think we definitely will be. At the rate that it's going now, I think we'll be in pretty good hands.
Indeed. I mean, it can just go up and up.
Right. Exactly.
Well, I think we should finish off.
Do you want to wrap it up here?
Yeah. All right. So I think that's where we ended, actually.
Yeah.
It seems. All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Whip and Jan.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been an absolute blast.
Yeah, it really has. It's great talking to you guys.
Yeah, same.
Well, I guess that's that. Okay, so we just get the pod out. We can do an after show, like just right now. And we're back. We're joined by Angry and Rug here, Rug05 and Angry Bird Star, to talk about Seabound, the newest Ninjago season. We're just going to discuss all 16 episodes.
Okay, opinions on Seabound. Like, what did you guys think of like the season as a whole? What did you guys think of the season as a whole?
Based.
Alphabetical order, I think.
Who cares about the alphabetical order? Just talk.
Who's gonna go?
It helps.
Who's gonna go
Angry,
first?
you
So
can
Alex.
go first.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to put it together with the other seasons, but it's definitely one of my favorite Wild Brain, if not overall favorite seasons. I think I enjoyed it more thoroughly, like the entire season throughout, than Master of the Mountain, which might be an unpopular opinion, but it just held my attention, my very poor attention span better, I think. And I quite liked it.
Solid. Yeah, I guess I'll go next. I enjoyed the season throughout to like a varying extent. It was definitely kind of choppy in the middle, but I think the finale pulled it together. Talked with some people. I really enjoyed what the finale did for Nia's character as a whole. Had some complaints, but overall, I think it was very solid, very good season for the 10th anniversary to cap off this year, and that's the last season for Kirby Moral.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this season. Like, it's really great, but I wouldn't like say it's the best season or like close to it. But I did like really enjoy it.
All right, yeah, I really did enjoy this season. I mean, I would put it like below a couple, below Sons of Garmadon maybe, but hey, it's a little messy in the middle. But overall, the overarching kind of plot just works out, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay, so I've been thinking
And
if I like
Rod-
this or Sons of Garmadon more. And I think I like this more. Just throughout, I think it's much better because like in the middle of Sons of Garmadon, like episodes like 4 and 5, it kind of lost me for a lot of it, and then only real like near the end it like brought it all together. And I think this has just been better throughout, even if Sons of Garmadon has higher peaks.
yeah. I mean, Sons of Garmadon has a really good ending, but like the
Yeah.
rest of the season, it's like it's okay, I guess. Like, it's nothing special in my opinion, at least.
I really like the start and like the first and third acts, but I would agree with Rug about the second bit being a little weak.
Yeah, but yeah, Seabound. Like, I'll say Seabound is like one of my favorite endings. That's for sure. Like, I really liked it. Also, that it was like not one episode, like Ice Chapter, where it was left to the last episode, and then it felt
Yeah.
like anticlimactic.
Oh yeah,
Crusty and Shambles.
yeah, they use their time fairly well to kind of like build her up.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
glad we got a 4-part flood.
Yeah.
it's also nice that we finally got
Uh.
like a Nia season, because like we got almost like a season for every ninja, or at least a good season for every ninja. So I'm glad Nia at least had one. Poor Kai and Zane, who never got a proper good season.
Yeah, we didn't get a proper
Yeah,
good
at least
season
we
for
got
Nia.
one for Nia, so that's great. And
Nia's mostly had to like kind of share spotlight and like
Yeah.
from season 5 through 7.
Or like I'd say 11 kind of. Not like as much, but like she had her
Yeah.
whole like ice thing.
yeah, that went to nowhere.
Yeah. Rest
No,
in
but
peace.
I really liked the characters as well in this season. Like, I really enjoyed Jay and Kai, because most people already think like Kai and Jay have been like quite not as good in the later seasons, and some might be true, but I did like really enjoy them this season. I feel like
I really
Jay was a
liked-
little bit more mature, even though he was also like very immature at some points. And like Kai was just like cool, I guess. It was just there actually.
I love the fact that Kai at one point dies.
Yeah.
But he
Oh,
comes
yeah, I
back
forgot
immediately.
about
But
Oh yeah,
I
just like
forgot the
Kai
Nelson
talking about
episode.
the paper.
Uh, we'll talk
Yeah,
about
I
that
liked him in the paper girl
midway through, or
episode. Like,
you
that
guys
was
want
really
to talk
great.
about it now?
And I'll definitely say the paper girl episode is definitely an improvement of News Never Sleeps, which should have been Mill Never Sleeps, but yeah.
No, both episodes are amazing, dude. Come on.
So I think if we want to structure this one, we could try to like, go through each
Yeah,
episode and
that's
then
a
like
good
get an
idea.
overall
Yeah.
thoughts.
I'm fine with
Sure.
that.
I think
Again-
maybe we should try and go through the
try to do
pairs
that.
of
So-
episodes, because I feel if we go purely
Yeah.
episodic,
Yeah.
it would take
Oh
too
yeah,
long.
definitely. It's more of a season that was in pairs. So episode 1,
1
Nia,
and 2.
or what is it? Call of the what?
The first
Call of
one
the
is,
Yeah,
the Wiki,
a big
the Wiki,
splash,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's Call of the Deep.
Big Splash.
Yeah, I
Big
love
splash,
that
huh?
episode. That was great.
Oh yeah, the big splash was like really great. It's a nice starter to the season. and I'm not sure. I don't remember if Maya appeared in the big splash or it was the call of.
It was like the very end, like the very
Yeah, but like I really liked
It was the very end. There was a
first
bit.
appearance of Maya and Ray. I love how Ray was just carrying all this stuff. Yeah, like that was really funny to
Oh,
me.
that owned. Yeah, he's got drip.
I also like the stuff with Nia feeling terrible, but also like getting very angry, and that they like dived more into the elemental powers of water, like already just at the start of the season with like the scrolls that we was talking about. Like that was cool that added like a little bit of lore.
I like the Vengestone tease a lot.
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah, the Vengestones these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the better parts. Just
I like
the
Mrs.
first action scene.
Demeanor.
Better than Ultraviolet, which I
So
mean isn't
very
that
funny.
high of a bar, but
Yeah, I did like really like her, but she didn't come off as annoying, unlike
yeah,
Violet, which
I
is
like how
think
she was a
it's because
fan
of better
of the
voice
Ninja.
acting.
Ultraviolet's annoying.
yeah. I
that's
hate
true.
Ultraviolet so much. But like,
Oh, speaking of which, I'm pretty sure Misdemeanor is voiced by Aaron Matthews. Yeah, Macy from Next to Nights.
No!
Next to Night's crossovers part 2.
oh my god, first
They've been doing 3 of them now.
Giles Patton.
We got a Chronix,
So sweet.
Kalmar, and then
Also,
Oh, God.
like
Aaron Matthews here.
the
Macy.
beep boop bop joke was, I don't know why, but that was like really funny to me.
It
Like
was
I
great.
really laughed at that like a lot.
It was better in the French version, though. I think.
Oh, for sure.
The French do
Yeah,
make
that's the
some
first.
things better, and
That overall, like I'll say,
Yeah, that
The
really
Big
is a
Splash
first.
was like a nice opening episode for me. It's probably one of my favorite first episodes. Like it's definitely
Yeah.
better than season 13, I'll say. Even though
Yeah.
season 14 didn't have Millman in the first episode.
I did. Yeah, overall, I like that. It's set up enough, and we got an idea of like the characters, their relationships, and I mean specifically
Yeah.
Kai and Nia, I suppose.
And then
It's always
I'm
nice to
glad
see them
they
together.
spent more time at the monastery
yeah?
instead of just like rushing to the new location, like in
oh yeah,
season
I love
12 and
I love
13.
the episodes at the monastery. Those are always like really great.
Yeah,
Remind me a lot of like season 1, where they also
Which
spend like
is-
lots of time on the bounty and the monastery instead of just like at random places.
They spent one episode on the
I
monastery.
think like
Sorry.
two episodes.
Then they
Technically
went
2,
back.
but yeah,
Oh,
2 and then
oh,
a
we're
short
talking
gap.
about
Monastery.
season one, sorry.
God, that was
No
fast.
more monastery.
Yeah, we're talking about season 1. Don't worry, no spoilers here just yet. We're going through I mean,
Rise of
technically
the
it's
Snake
spoilers because
folks be warned.
Lloyd is
yeah,
a
Rise
big
of the Snake
ninja, holy
spoilers.
shit,
If you're
who would have
just
guessed?
joining us from
Anyway, going to
Yeah.
the Call of the Deep. That episode was also like really great. I liked the stuff with Maya and Nia. It was also nice to see Nia's room. To see more
Oh,
of
yeah.
the interior of
The
like,
chicken.
monastery. Bro, she's sleeping
Another
with the
dry
chicken. That's
cameo.
so based. Like the chicken has become more of a pet now, which I also like really like. Like first it was like an enemy, and now it's more like, what's it called, a pet.
Arguably the best thing season 11 did. Add the chicken.
Perhaps.
Oh, speaking of the chicken, I think this was missed in episode 1, but it falls into Jay's
Yeah.
hands, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
when the like tsunami just collapses.
Ah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real question
Yeah.
is it the same chicken or are we getting
Yeah, I'm
multiple
sure there's a-
chickens?
Bro.
It would be funny if it was the same chicken. in
Oh
there.
Oh
my
my
Three-
god,
God.
dramatic.
Oh.
Dramatic.
Oh wait, yeah. Let's.
God.
I'm just gonna leave that at there, and we're gonna get back to the
Bad
discussion.
dramatic.
Uh,
Bad.
yeah, I like
Maya is
Maya.
quite based. Definitely has more personality than in like season 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Also, like, it makes sense how she acts.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I missed this, but can we talk about the toilet gag with Jay? That was so funny. I don't know why it's so
Oh,
funny. I don't know why.
God, he
but
got
it makes me laugh so much.
Just him saying like, "Oh no, the toilet water is the toilet's exploding."
Ninjago loves its toilet gags, I guess.
They're doing well, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
I think one
Yeah,
thing that's
Maya
really
is
yeah.
definitely an improvement of what we got in season 7.
She was really shy, huh? And I mean, Ray, I guess he was a little bit more determined, but they've both just like relaxed. It's been 2 or 3 years. It's really nice to see like hints of a developing kind of character that
Oh yeah.
they give us like eventually.
Also,
Fully.
Ray's a gamer. Like that's
Mm.
really
So
cool.
true.
Like that was one of my favorite
Ray's a
things
gamer.
when Ray and Kai were just gaming. Like that was so funny to me.
Mm.
Like it's just such a simple and small thing, and it's like I just love it. It shows you the relationship Kai has with his dad and the similarities those two have, which is really nice.
So
Perhaps.
similar, they might share a
We
voice.
also get to see his relationship with his mom for a little
Yeah,
bit.
that was great.
Oh yeah.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
that
just
um,
being a
Thank you,
spoiled
mommy,
brat.
for the
It's-
sandwiches.
yeah, it's really neat to see how like they try to kind of come relate to their parents, where Nia doesn't want to, whereas
yeah.
Kai's
Kai's
open,
more open to
completely
his
open and
family,
willing to.
definitely.
I do like
Mm.
the emphasis
Yeah,
on
so like,
that they were not raised, that they had to raise themselves, and that
Yeah.
has happened, and that it impacts. Yeah,
it's a callback.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's
It's a
nice
bit more than a callback. It's like hinging
overall.
on that.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like,
it's the first thing that happens in the show, basically.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because like it does kind of say something about their characters. Nia is a more
more on this on
What is it?
their
Like
own
independent.
character. Independent, yeah.
I suppose, but also like she's willing to like push down. Yeah, she's more repressive, I guess, or she represses more, and just like moves on. Whereas Kai is willing to just open up immediately once he's gotten something back. So it kind of like goes into what happens near the end of the
Oh,
season,
yeah,
if anything. Suppose
Also, was
it's kind of interesting, I guess.
the second episode where what's it called? Pixel and Zane went on the adventure.
That's the only part I didn't like that much.
Yeah, they went on the.
I mean, it was interesting.
It was-
like
it
had
I
manufactured
did like
tension.
to see Pixel and Zane work together. Like that was really nice. Yeah,
They're always cute together, and yeah, it was really just that it had manufactured tension. It didn't feel very
yeah.
interesting,
Yeah.
but it was a nice
You
scene.
could
I do
probably
like
go
that, I
without
guess.
that scene, but like it also like sets up that they're going to Merlopia.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Would have been nice if they actually. Speaking of which, when the energy beam like blows open, would have been nice to see like Nia just like do the mouth thing she does in episode 4,
Oh yeah,
or
Oh,
the
yeah, that
eyes
was
thing,
interesting.
where
that would
She
have
just
been
spits
cool
energy.
to see, but maybe
But I guess
that
it's
didn't
because she's
happen
farther
because
away.
it's so far away.
So are
So
we
what-
moving on to
Yeah.
ep 3?
What
And
would you
4?
guys rank these two episodes? Actually,
F3.
before
I
we
think
go-
episode 1 is better. But both of them are really good.
yeah, I'll say episode 1 is definitely the better one.
Yeah, Ep 2 has good moments, but like because of some things like the Zane thing, I guess it's
Yeah, I'll
definitely
say
a
I'd
little.
say,
episode
I'd say
one-
the pacing of episode 1 just makes a bit more sense than episode 2.
Yeah.
What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I agree that episode 1 was stronger, but they're both a very strong establishment for the rest of the
Yeah,
season.
they are nice first episodes. Now to what's it called?
Episode 3, Unsinkable?
The 5,000
Ep 3.
something.
No, that's 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. Unsinkable. That's episode 3.
I love
Yeah.
the soundtrack usage. In
Well,
this
it was
episode.
Oh yeah, like when they were walking, right?
That was the rebooted elevator
that
track.
rock.
Or when they rise up the.
Oh my
down-
god, that was amazing.
I think that was
scene
the
is really
titanium
great.
ninja track.
I love how just Jay fucks up everything again, dropping down, almost shooting everyone.
Ah, what a king! God, he's just like me. Anyways, yeah, yeah, I like that. What is it? The entire Maya thing got built
Oh yeah,
on, of
that's
course.
true. Yeah, I mean
And
it
it's
makes
nice to
sense
see
for
them
her to like
move
climb
on
on the bounty or climb in the bounty, and I'm happy
Yeah.
like they actually did like that. Maya came with them. Makes sense.
Yeah, now that I remember it, it's really neat to see like Nia feel like she's getting, or feel like the ocean's, I guess, loud or something.
Powerful.
Where it's, she can feel it. It's very intense, I guess. That's what she said, I think.
Yeah. I also like I like the
very
scenes
nice
where the
foreshadowing.
ninja just gets surprised that their stuff is like done.
Oh yeah, with the mint.
Somebody pointed it out, like that was like a callback to Lloyd's childhood days of candy
Yeah.
obsession, and I love, even if it's not intentional, I love that.
Oh my god, yeah, I didn't even think of that. It's really
Like the sweet
great.
tooth.
Yeah,
He did.
And I also like the Captain Sane thingy.
Oh
That's
yeah.
kind of
It's
Like
definitely better than what it was in Possession.
Pirate Zane is
that's
always
for sure.
nice. Well, to be fair, Possession Zane was just like him saying
Filter,
normal
yeah.
lines, but with the captain effect. Yeah, he's
My
over
only
here. He's
complaint
like
is
doing
that
the
like
whole
he
thing.
doesn't have the what's it called? Like the
iPad?
voice changer thing.
Oh. Oh, I love the
We
usage
get to
of
hear
the
more Brent
Naruto
Miller, so that's
soundtrack.
fine.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I
True.
guess.
I think one underrated thing is that the fact that like Maya sneaks on is like it's played off as a joke, but it's also kind of sad because like it's like her and Nia just being like distant, right? Like she feels she can't even talk to her to like just go. She just has to sneak on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
That
that's
is a
kind of
good
messed up.
yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
really messed up. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Well, it makes
that's kind of
sense,
a
I guess.
useful way to just like show where they are in their relationship. So
Yeah,
like,
and then how
the
it's
next
like
episodes can build
progresses.
on that.
Yeah.
I did like that Pixel
Mm.
got to
After all,
be
they don't
part of the crew.
really know each other, I guess.
Yeah.
That helps. And so we should move on to 5,000
Doobie.
fathoms
Yeah.
down, I
Banger.
suppose. And we,
That episode.
you guys
was
thought about this
nice.
episode?
Yeah,
Or
I
how'd you guys
agree
think
with
of it?
Rug.
But episode 3 is pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
episode
enjoyed
3 is good.
that point.
Like it was definitely really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I did really like, what is it? Ep 4 is like, Maya Nia drama kind of.
Oh yeah,
Toxic
I
again.
like the Maya Neo
have that
drama.
kind of conversation there.
Chewy cookies.
Yeah, they get into the mechs. They
Bro, on no way to complain about the
That's
Maya
cookie-
Neo
that's how the
drama.
cookie crumbles.
Bro, I don't even like crumbly cookies or something, whatever she says.
yeah, it makes sense. It's a nice little. I did think the line was a little but at the very least it worked for
Oh.
what it, its purpose. And I mean, as soon as Maya said something about sacrifices, it just made
I
sense.
wonder what
that,
they're hinting.
It's not exactly
Yeah,
subtle.
that
that
but,
was a
yeah.
little bit
it's
heavy-handed.
the least subtle
For sure.
line.
Just that would do. Yeah.
At least one of the least subtle ones.
I just love how they're just hinting
Yeah,
at it.
I wasn't expecting them to like go all out.
How many of you guys like bought with the Maya's toast idea? Because I was definitely.
Oh
on
yeah,
board
I
didn't
was
for a
like,
even
while.
think of Maya's toast.
Oh no, I just figured, what is it? Maya was gonna be fine because I mean she's only been been in their lives like for a little while. It'd be really weird if they killed her,
Yeah, there wouldn't be much emotional impact.
in their minds, and then like brought her
Yeah.
back and then killed her again.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the whole point of that. Yeah, I feel like the
It's
whole
like
point
Dr.
of that was
Julian.
more for Nia's sake. I'd never really saw it as like oh, Maya's going to sacrifice herself.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Really, I mean, as soon as it like hit, I just expected the the finale to have Maya.
Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
expect
that was
them to
like-
have the
Not having
balls
Maya.
to,
or my brain registered it how like
Mm.
Maya had to leave behind Nia, and that Nia would have to sacrifice something to do with Maya, which she I guess did, but like more directly. I was thinking.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's good they sacrificed Nia instead, since there's like an emotional impact with that.
yeah.
Because like you have Kai, you have her mother, you have Jay, and then just the ninja team as well. I
Yeah.
also like really. Oh wait, we
Yeah.
should probably discuss that.
Yeah. So Kalmar is so based. Kalmar is so
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, I'd say it's not
Oh, he pops
like
on
a
in.
really good written character, but he's definitely really fun to watch.
He's not Pythor, but he's really
He's finely written. I suppose they're trying to make him a little bit more dramatic. I'm thinking like compared to other Wild Brain villains, Skull Sorcerer, he's a very basic character, but he gets the point across. He's Elon Musk, but
I mean, I'll definitely. I think I like the Skull Sorcerer more than I do Kalmar.
Maybe.
I just like really. I enjoyed the Skull Sorcerer's on-screen presence like way more.
Yeah, speaking of what, I mean, I know this is a Master of the Mountain cast, but when you compare Master of the Mountain, it's a little like Chen, where he's very domineering. You can't get out of his grasp, I guess.
True.
Skull Sorcerer.
Also,
Yeah,
Skull
because you're spending
Sorcerer's
pretty much the
theme is
entire
That was one
season just
feeling I
like
really
in his
liked.
domain.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Here, I guess it's a lot more emotionally
Yeah.
centered, I suppose. I'm sure this has something to do with like the sets being like not primarily about the Atlantis city. They do escape,
Oh yeah, like
but
I'm glad they didn't just only go to the Atlantis and just also went to Ninjago City and stuff. I mean, I don't mind. Like, I wish
Speaking
we
of
could
Atlantis,
see more of
or actually-
Atlantis, the Atlantis City.
The
Like,
Merlopia.
Yeah, Merlopia, whatever it's called, Ron.
Fallopian.
No,
Indeed.
Yeah,
I
going
mean, I
back a
wish we
little
could
bit.
see more of that.
Yeah, going back a little bit, I do think like for the conversation between Nia and Maya, I think like who is it? I think like Biggest Nut is saying in chat. It's like the one on the bounty is kind of cool. The one in the trench is like kind of trying to carry over that conversation. But it's like I feel like it needed like one more line to actually flow better. And without that, it's kind of like Maya is just forcing the conversation out of nowhere. And so that makes the whole like tone feel kind of awkward there.
I mean, maybe that was the point, though. Like,
It is like partially the point, but it doesn't quite come off
They
in
do
the right
have
way. Like
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, they do have a
Yeah.
really bad relationship.
Yeah, I
or
feel like I understand what Rock says, and I agree with that. I feel like that was kind of the point.
So yeah, on one hand,
Yeah.
it did need a little bit more time. Maybe just like another moment where she tries to more naturally bring it into conversation. But at the same time, we know they don't have a very close relationship.
Yeah.
It's very awkward for them.
I was a little bit upset that it was like you've never made a sacrifice like that, when like that's kind of the point of like the last few episodes of Skybound, where like Nia sacrificed herself to protect.
Oh yeah,
Jay.
for sure. Just Delara.
Then again, she doesn't know about.
It would be nice if they
Yeah,
like.
she doesn't know about that. So like, and it's again, that's another thing that's just not fair that she doesn't know. But
I mean, that could be like. I feel like that's also like if they worked on that, that would be emotional for Nia because she did actually sacrifice that.
It is kind of dramatic irony, if anything, but it might be unintentional dramatic irony. They could just like maybe a reverse shot where she's just like cringing or something as soon as she hears like she's never had to.
I see
you know what?
mean, though, I definitely.
Yeah.
I was thinking like being repulsed, but yeah.
Okay. Wait, what is your opinion on
shit.
Glutinous?
Oh, I love Glutinous. He's so bad.
Oh, what a Chad.
He's no char, but he's awesome.
I really like, even though Glutinous
pretty
and
nice.
what's the Gripe, they don't have much personality. I do like them.
They're funny.
They do have a point in the season.
Like I wish we could have seen more of them.
Glutinous head motions. Yeah, I don't know what it is about those snake head motions, but the way they're
Yeah, it
animated,
really does.
The animation
every time.
of the serpentines, like since season 11, even in season 11, is like really great.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly better than what is it, season, or God, it's honestly
Maybe,
better than
yeah.
Kalmar.
Bro, Kalmar is like
the
really
way
funny.
they're animated.
Like
I love the scene at the end of the episode.
He does look weird.
he's really expressive, and I love that.
Yeah. He has some problems, but I mean, he
I
rocks
honestly,
it,
I really wish
honestly.
he kept like the accent in the one trailer. That was like, if he just had like a
He does have that accent.
like
Wait, which
surface
trailer?
dwellers
Oh, the
of
one where
my
he's screaming.
temple or something.
No,
I know.
that's just him
It was
screaming.
like, no,
That's-
he's so cool.
That's Giles.
I would like that much more. But his voice acting is so good.
I mean, you remember Next Next, right? You know,
I was waiting
man
for
Clay.
this day. But yeah.
yeah, he's got the same general performance where he almost feels like something's bubbling under the surface, but he's not willing to say that because he's a very closet kind of character. I don't mean this as like, oh yeah, he's gay, but I mean, he's very like
Yeah, that
resentful or
was.
something.
This is
Or,
next
I don't even remember. Clay wasn't really
Oh my
resentful,
God.
but
One
like
thing
his
I will
motif.
say about Gry.
Clay wasn't really a resentful character. He was a he's a cardboard.
No,
Or,
you
what?
go on. For
Go
some
ahead.
reason, you cut out for me.
I finished.
No, you go on.
I finished up. Yeah, Clay is cardboard, but also his voice sounds like he's
Yeah,
pissed.
he's. I don't like
trying
Clay.
very hard.
He's probably the worst next to Nights, but we're not talking about next to Nights.
Yeah, fuck next to Nights.
We are not.
No
we
more
are
next
not talking
No
about
more
next
next
nights.
Nights. One thing I
Brought it
will
up,
say about
yeah,
like
on the
voice
side.
acting, for some reason, Gripe's voice sometimes really puts me off. Like, I'm not sure what it is, but like when I hear his voice, it's just weird.
Got like a
Feels like
grunt
he's like
voice.
screaming.
Got a grunty voice. Oh yeah, it is Brian Drummond. So he's got that kind of grunt voice. I would say Axel,
Wait,
but
is
like
it
Brian
actually
Drummond is a talent. So
Axel? Oh,
yes, he is very. Look, Brian Drummond does a lot of character work. The
Yeah.
man is just a real talent. He was Murloc, Axel, and like a bunch of other Next to Nights characters. He's Crunch on
He's also
Knuckle.
Iron Baron.
So
Right?
just do that. He is Iron Baron.
Yeah, he's
The
definitely.
man's just a
great as well.
talent. But yeah, he does a really nice voice here where he's doing the what is it?
yeah.
The gruff kind of voice. Compared to like, other voices where he's doing like a Russian accent
Whatever
or
Crunch and Knuckle is.
other things. Actually, no, it really is funny that Crunch and Knuckle are the same guy. Actually, no, he does sound like Crunch.
Yeah, Crunch is
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
but not that much.
He's got
I
like
loved how
lips.
Gripe was constantly
Whoever those two
surprising
guys are.
Calamar. As though,
Oh, I
like,
love that gag so
he was,
much.
as I like to think that the reason he got surprised always is he was worried that his like father was about to catch him or something, and then Gripe just sneaks up on him,
This little trolling.
Catch him doing what?
doing the little Wojira stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna make a joke that wouldn't be
So should
suitable
we
for the
go on
podcast,
to
but yeah,
episode 5 then? And episode 6?
yeah. Episode 6. What is it?
Episode- Yeah.
Episode
yeah.
5
Wrath
is
of
Wrath
Calamar.
And then
No,
6
episode
is
5
Long Live
first.
the King.
Yeah. Yeah. Episode 5 was good. It was just a lot of action, I guess. We were introduced to Benthamar. Nia and Maya do a little escaping. Action
I love
scenes here were
the Hands
nice.
of Time OST. The Hands of Time music.
Do what?
It was so good.
Was there a?
Like the Kaini of Family theme.
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't.
The J scene, though, the J scene
It
at
is
the
nice.
end of the episode is so based.
It does feel like also, forced tension, manufactured tension, but
works.
it works,
Yeah.
I feel like they
given
set it
his
enough,
character.
up enough. When they mentioned
still
it in
feel-
their episode 3 or 4, I think they said that they could do it with Jay's powers.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
remember.
Jay suggested it. They just said it would be
Yeah.
dangerous, and then he went and did it in episode 5.
What a legend.
It's too dangerous. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? I did feel like he could have just, or Lloyd could have just done it because his power is literally just energy. Just unhook the power source and
I mean,
connect
that
Lloyd
probably would have
directly.
been dangerous too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
Lloyd,
I
so it's
guess.
Lloyd abuse, and
The
that's
man's like
awesome.
basically like you consider what happens to Nia at the end of the season, then like what happened to Lloyd at the end of his at the end of season 2, basically. I'm pretty sure Lloyd is like half god, and that allows him to not lose his humanity.
oh my god, that was season 2.
Could be, but it's not really an
Yeah.
important plot hole. or
I do
anything.
like that we got like a Jay willing to sacrifice his life to parallel Nia later on.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah.
I do
This
think
is
one thing.
definitely me when Jay
Uh,
is bad in Wild Brain seasons.
One thing that like doesn't super carry over from episode 4 is like Calamar seems super excited to like finally have an elemental master of water, and then when he actually talks to like Nia and Maya, he's actually just trying to figure out where the island is.
Oh yeah, I remember the one scene of this Nia trolling.
Oh sure, yeah. There was. I thought they were
yeah,
blowing that up.
But
Yeah.
the scene we got was
Would have
very
been neat
good.
if they.
Yeah.
What did he
In
call her?
episode 6, he's like, "Oh, this will be fun," or whatever.
Speaking of-
That was really...
This will be fun. Proceeds to get trolled.
Speaking of which, I mean,
Yeah.
he needs the storm amulet, right? Yeah, they've never defined this well, but like, what the
It's
hell is
the
the storm
amulet.
amulet? It's like lightning.
of the storm.
Yeah, but it's like
It's
Is it
weird
lightning or
because it's
something?
like it's
it's
realistically it should just be like wind, but it helps generate lightning.
yeah, it's purple lightning and it's stronger than normal lightning, so it just happens to be not lightning, I guess. Wonder if like if Jay ended up in that situation, would he like consider using him as a
Strap
replacement?
page, what
Oh,
Jared
this
said.
will be
I
fun with
suppose
him
that's, like,
talking
meta.
talking before he like overthrew his father. That wasn't for the interrogation, I think.
Oh no, yeah, that was after. But I thought it was like after he found out they escaped or that they're still alive or something.
Yeah.
Yep. Kalmar calls Nia the usurper, which
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
I feel like that's a neat thread.
Or projection moments there.
What else kind of happens in the 5th episode? I feel like they do a very good job like showing Nia and Maya learning to like work together, even at the same time it's like Maya is clearly out of practice, I guess.
Yeah, like
and
she falls down in the one scene.
Yeah.
And then
But
Nia
she's the one who suggests using
Yeah,
the
she
idea.
proposed the idea, I guess.
it's pretty cool.
So should we move on to episode 6 then?
Yeah, let's
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
let's
Let's move on
go.
to episode 6, huh? Let's talk about that one. Yeah, so we get, scene of Bento, or no, scene of Trimar just like explaining the thing, and then Kalmar just straight up
This
murks
This
the
is
guy.
when new Ninjago isn't dark enough.
Yeah, I did think it was weird because, like, on one hand, it felt like a subversion. Normally with these kinds of stories, you end up with like, oh yeah, it was a misunderstanding. We'll let the problem persist, even though it's clearly there. Some kind of, tension before everything breaks out.
Yeah.
But no, he just dies. And I did like it, and I don't know how I feel about it because I liked it, but I was iffy on it because we don't get enough time on the Immerlopia almost. Don't really get to see the citizens, I guess. And I could just use a little time there just to see how things get affected. But at the same time, it doesn't really matter all too much. We do get Tale of Benthamar, which resolves some
Like we
of
see
it.
more of Kalmar and Trimar just interacting in that episode.
Yeah. I
think-
got like a Chima vibe from the Trimar dynamic.
Is that good or bad?
I mean, is it because they have irregular shaped heads?
Maybe.
And they're both talking? Yeah. I haven't seen very much of Chima besides the first 2 episodes first 3 episodes, and I couldn't pirate the 4th one, so I just never got back to watching that one. It is how it is. Yeah. It was nice to see them interact, and then he just murks him. Right
I
in the
think
spot.
having Trimar
Nice
die a
action,
little
too.
bit later rather
yeah?
than right on the spot really helps sell that emotional moment with Bento.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was concerned that
definitely.
after he got blasted, they just wouldn't show him again. But I'm glad that Bento dragged him and got to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And I guess we move on. Ep 7, Escape from Merlopia. That was primarily action. I feel like we don't need to talk about this one very much. I just remember watching, what is it? The thing without the
I
first 2 or
remember that.
3 minutes.
It's good. It's just not
Yeah, that was an issue.
exceptional, I guess. It's just an episode.
Yeah, let Let me get back through this transcript. It was primarily act. I think I liked Lloyd
that was neat.
using his Mac more. That was neat. Yeah, Jinx. Yeah, it's just really nice to see him like actually use the thing and play it. He's playing a bigger part in the story than than say like in Master of the Mountain, where he's doing a couple things and yelling at Vangelis. But here or is it Vangelis? But here he's like I just remember he was doing a lot of mech stuff.
Yeah, I was wondering if they're setting up him like being captured for more attention and stuff.
That would be funny, but also dumb.
We also got the Sensei Woobots.
Yep.
Oh, those are so stupid. But they were
Sensei
funny.
what?
The little drones that Pixel fires out of the bounty.
Oh yeah, the funny little decoy bots that he uses to. keep
Yeah, I
things
do
down.
appreciate how
Those were neat.
Pixel's like on the main
was over-
like,
yeah.
quest or whatever.
I love that.
Yeah, she has a bigger role, and that kind of
Compared to
helps.
just sitting out in season 13.
Okay, one thing I think is super funny.
I mean-
Episode, I believe it's episode 5, where like they released the it's either episode 5 or episode 6, where they released the Ripper Sharks, and Calamar gets super upset. He's like, I need them alive. And then as soon as he becomes king, he's like, release the Ripper Sharks.
Yeah, Kalmar. Yeah, overall he's just not consistent. I
Nah,
guess.
he just
I mean, he
needed
wanted
that,
to frame
villain.
them, right?
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Well, he framed them, but like
So yeah, there's
he
changing
was
motives.
he hadn't yet revealed the thing about like looking through the scrolls. So it was just
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like, wait, you're getting rid of the only people who can help you satisfy your plan.
I guess he was just trying to sell it or something.
When you shred your
Yeah, that's probably
enemies
it.
to like pieces with sharks because you want to like sell it, like you're hardcore.
I mean, yeah. Once they're dead, you can't really get them to talk. That's how the CIA did it.
Oh god.
Thank you, Graham.
Yeah. Anyways, what is it? Ep
Yeah.
8?
I
Do you
feel
guys
like
want to
Caleb
move on
Benzema
to
has a
episode
bit more
8?
to talk about.
It is towards the
Yeah.
light episode.
Episode 7 is just action.
Yeah, it's got a fair amount.
I do have a bit of a complaint.
Like
though.
Yeah, it was
I
a nice
enjoyed it.
episode.
I mean, there's the issue with like the way he's introduced in episode 3, I think it was. No, episode 4. Which episode? I think it was 4. Was that he was still trying to
It was
get his
episode 5.
affection.
I think he was
Sweet.
just because they were in front of the king or something, and they didn't want to like let him know about their like troubles or whatever.
Yeah, this might just be like an issue with like the animation not completely translating this kind of idea, but it didn't really look like he was, naive or anything. Or no, it didn't really look like he was, already feeling heartbroken from the rejection. He just felt like he was still naive.
I have one thing to say about
So-
the next episode. You know how he
Episode
says
9?
like, or episode 8, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Like at the start of the episode when Trimar saves him when he's like a baby, he's like, oh, that's the most heroic thing I've ever seen. And then he does the same thing to Kalmar, like in the end of the episode. So I thought that was a really cool detail.
Oh, sure, you're right. Yeah, that is.
And then he's like, nah, you're not my brother. You're cringe. You smell.
Yeah, that was sneaky. Yeah. Overall, Bento's little story is nice. We get enough development with him. He's got a different relationship to the kingdom than, say, Vanya,
Yeah.
I suppose. And for that matter, I mean, yeah, I do like comparing this to season 13 because really comparing the two, 13, they are like, two of the best Wild Brain seasons, but they do vibe in different ways. Where 13 is more, I guess it develops like a whole atmosphere, whereas 15 is more of an emotional thing between two major characters, if anything. Where it's like more centered around the ninja, whereas 13 isn't really. It's centered around Cole, but it does have more of a focus on the struggles of the Shintaran people or the Shintaran
I would say
class there.
it's more of an emotion. It's more of an emotional like journey in Master of the Mountain, whereas Seabound is more of like just a journey or like an adventure that then turns into being emotional near the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, the emotion is an important part to
Yeah.
both of them.
I just
after
say
all.
the tone of the seasons overall is like the emotion is a bit more present throughout for Master of the Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
It's more in the head of
Yeah.
Cole and the Months and the Geckos and like Kaimiya.
Yeah, they established the
Hmm.
like the necklace like pretty soon, and you get that hints.
Yeah.
You're
I guess we
episode
could move on
9.
to 10.
9.
Riddle of the Sphinx.
Y'all skipping.
9 first. Stormy. No skipping.
No, we
This
got
one
the
was fine.
keeper.
Yes.
Was so
It
nice.
was-
The return of the
Oh, this didn't introduce a plot point I didn't really like. The entire
oh yeah,
fake out amulet. Yeah, that I think from 9 to 12, the entire fake out thing, and then eventually by 13 or 14, really just kind of dragged down the season about here.
I guess.
My issue, like, okay, I have many issues, but like one of my issues with it is like I just don't understand the argument that like it would be safer off of the island. Like hiding it is fine, but like you can still be tracked, right? The literal first Spinjitzu master helped the keepers set up their defenses, right? He gave them those stone golems, like he like told them like you protect this, and like they've been protecting it fine for literal thousands of years. It's literally just a plot point that Clutch is able to steal it and get away with it.
But have you considered that they could
But
go
like that
under
doesn't
the
make
ocean?
sense because they still have to get to the island and go through the island. It's like those
Yeah,
are
that's
straight
what-
up. That would straight up
Mia's not making
require
a very-
a full-on like war with the keepers and the Merlopians for them to actually get the amulet, or it would just require Kalmar just like walking behind some trees and just like, oh, let me just take the amulet, because like that's the logical conclusion of like Clutch being able to just get away with it somehow.
Yeah, I guess if Clutch can do it, anyone can.
Yeah, it's really weird how the entire. I mean, honestly, between this and the island, I don't think
Yeah.
the keepers are the
The
brightest people.
keepers are also made completely
they
irrelevant by
fought-
taking it off the island.
yeah.
Yeah, they take it off the island because. I mean, they agree to it because they think that they're gonna sneak under, but they don't realize that we've got a whole ass golem here. I mean, it really depends because the ninja were like just 6 people. You've got an army on the ground. Would that
I feel like
fair
that
as
doesn't
well?
really change it because like I mean even with the army like you have the keepers for that, and like the golems
Actually,
can
no.
be like the inner guard for the amulet itself, and it's like nothing that the ninja did, who are like
actually,
individually each more powerful than any of the Merlopians, like nothing that they did could even hurt the golems.
yeah, true. Because I mean, the other thing is that it's an island. You end up on like pretty bad ground when you aren't familiar with the
Exactly.
environment, but they are.
I really would have
So-
loved an entire
Yeah, they
battle
would be
between the
screwed.
keepers and the Merlopians, and just like on my wish list.
Oh
also
god, that would
be
be
like
great.
them having the free Ronin earlier and getting to have him a little bit of fun. I don't know. That's just me, like wishing.
You know what? I mean, yeah, I've mentioned this before, but I really wish they'd just like done one of the legacy sets as Ronin's Rex, and then just like integrated it
Need
into the
help.
season. The thing is basically submersible.
Oh yeah, we see it as a submarine.
Yeah, it is submersible and all. So like just integrate it in. That would have been nice, but it is what it is. Overall, I mean, this episode was fine. It was more or less just stuff happening again. Whenever plot heavy episodes hit, they don't hit as well, but at the same time, it is how it is.
Also there's the second
You
part of
guys-
the episode. What do we think about Kalmar getting to the Hydro Bounty?
I don't even remember. Like, wait,
yeah,
what,
that's
what
neat.
happened?
It was when it's
He
when like
smashed the
Mia
Hydro
and the
Bomb.
others are messaging Master Wu about like, oh, it's in the Explorers Club, and then he breaks in, and then the whole like tricking scene ensues, and he's like, yeah, I heard you, and then just destroys the ship.
That's pretty funny.
I'm glad they didn't draw out Kalmar getting tricked.
Yeah,
Even
that
if,
would have
like,
been
the whole
kind of
thing
dumb.
was
Mm.
privileged.
I mean, has Has any
he
villain
simply
ever
played
been
along.
tricked though?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Like I feel
You'd
like
think the
as
ninja
far as
would
I can
learn by now,
remember,
but
the
yeah,
only ones I can really think of were like Lord Garmadon in season 2.
Okay, well,
So like, it's not a great track record.
yeah. The scene with Jay was funny though.
Yeah, this is a neat little episode,
The
even though
scene
it
between
was.
Jay and the
Yeah.
keepers was
We
nice.
should get into the. We should get into the
Yeah.
really good episodes. How
Yeah,
about that?
let's go.
Riddle of the Sphinx.
Oh.
How'd you guys
Nice.
think? Yeah, all the land episodes were just like unanimously just great.
Why make
Honestly,
a 3 season? Let's just make more
or at least
land seasons,
watchable.
honestly.
Riddle of the Sphinx.
Land bound.
Yeah, I mean, no, it was
Land
just
bound.
like
Landbound.
that's just every
let's go.
season. Like I guess I mean because most of the conflict and the major plot happens underwater. You know, when they cut back to the land stuff, they get to just have a little fun, and then when things converge, the secondary plot is only brought in when it's relevant to the plot. So it's going to be better overall because you don't have to sift through like some kind of filler. I mean, not filler,
No,
but
you
like
said the
just
word.
plot stuff where things are happening, but there's no emotional stuff.
He
What?
said filler.
I did say the word. I said the
Yeah.
cringe word. Yeah, the really bad F word. I don't know. I enjoyed it, even though the riddle itself, I mean, the riddle part of it was kind of just like underwhelming. It was just a nice
I
little
like the stuff
treat
with
there.
Sissel and
Yes.
Misaka. That was really funny. And Clutch, just lying
Just
to the...
cartoon drawings.
Wait, how long have I been muted?
Yeah, the man's just. Yeah, those are Garlic drawings. I realize this is an in joke, basically. Those are Garlic drawings. Someone proposed the topic, clutch worship by the ninja, and someone drew it for him, and he took screenshots
10
and
out
just
of
put it on
10.
the presentation. What a genius! Yeah,
Does
he
this
ran out of time.
confirm,
Ran out of time.
Chief Namet bald?
He's playing knockoff.
Oh,
Bro.
I mean, he could be. That helmet's too big
Yeah,
for
so
us to
true.
know.
I mean,
What
what does he have under that helmet? That's so big.
Yeah.
Oh, in the ground.
Yeah, no, they were playing knockoff, and so he drew as many people, but then he forgot Dwayne and
Bro,
Misako.
how could you forget your partner?
I mean, the man did forget
Aw,
Dwayne. Let's
that's
be
so
honest
tragic.
here. He forgot Dwayne.
What did Dwayne do to Clutch that he forgets to draw him?
He ratted him out at the end.
Well, let's see. He's an intern, and I mean,
Bro, what did happen to
that's one thing.
to him?
who, Dwayne?
I think he was at the
He just
in the
kinda-
finale, right?
I guess he either left or something. Maybe he just stopped
I
being an
wouldn't believe
intern
him.
for Clutch
Like
specifically.
imagine him just being in the keeper's jail, and he's like, "Yeah, I quit," and then the keeper's like, "Yeah, we heard that. We'll let you go."
I mean, we did see Ronin at the
God,
end,
what a Chad.
so he's definitely
Yeah.
been brought back to Ninjago.
Oh, good point.
The
Do you
one
think
thing
he got amnesty?
Yeah, I guess the cops have a good relationship with the keepers.
Hostage
Not a good look,
negotiations.
guys.
Oh no.
Okay, can we talk about the Wu and Kalmar fight? That was so good.
Bro,
Oh yeah, that owns like the entire fight there. Oh god, I don't want to reference another thing, but like it does remind me of Spider. You've got a bunch of people fighting in one scene.
bro.
It was
I like
nice.
I like
how
when
the,
Bruce-
Like a
the
good action
Explorers
fight.
Club
Action scene.
members helped out.
Bro,
Oh, yeah,
those
they own.
Explorers Club
I mean,
members are based.
They weren't very effective. Yeah, I mean, best part of this episode was like so many of the characters were doing double roles. Like I know Kirby Mora was
The
doing
one
like a
guy.
double role as, yeah, that one guy. Wu was doing a double role as
Yeah.
Chad Cecil Putnam. Can someone post a picture? Post a picture of the Chad.
I don't have one
Uh,
on me, sadly.
Rest in peace. Vincent Tong was doing him and his dad, which still kind of I'm still on the entire like him doing like two roles that sound too similar. because we know that he can do 2 roles.
I mean,
He's done it a talent,
Okay. Quickly. Oh, sorry.
and
You got end of the whole
Okay, go
like
ahead.
quieter moments where they're just kind of chilling in the monastery and setting up the potential like Kai arc with fire in the future. I thought the moment with like Kai and Ray at the start was kind of neat, how they're just like sparring and how it kind of
that was
sets up
great.
Ray being out of practice.
I did
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
how
they're just
Wu
chilling.
asked Kai
Yeah.
to just shoot his dad with.
That was great.
Or
And
Ray.
one bad thing was like God, I'm even forgetting it now.
McClung.
But I think it was the thing between episodes 9 and 10 where at the end of episode 9, like Maya's like consoling Nia, and then episode 10 it's like Nia's like depressed again.
I think, yeah, I think they were, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind it because, as far as I remember, they're about different things. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was different things.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm.
Yeah.
It was quite weird, but I think it might have to do with like how the ads or episodes like air between, like how one episode airs at one moment and the other airs at one other moment. Might be just that.
Well, the end of episode 9 was like Maya saying
Yeah.
like, "No, Nia, it's not your fault. You can fix this. I believe in you." And then the first scene that they appear in again in episode 10 is like, "Kalmar's right. This is my fault," which is like,
Oh, I thought it was.
not anything that.
Oh yeah, no,
thought
it was
that
the
episode,
first
that
thing
part,
that
yeah,
she was
that
like-
that just
That she wouldn't know what to do in her shoes, and that Nia's a better elemental master.
That was I
Okay.
think that was closer to like either the next episode or like at the end of that episode.
Yeah, I don't remember, something around there. But episode 10, dude.
Yeah. It was
I think it was
definitely-
this episode. The calamari gag payoff was amazing.
wait, did he
No, like
get hit by
that's what
calamari or
made
something?
the fish move. And that's how she was able to get them to
okay.
listen.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's move on to the
not
best
yes.
episode.
But almost.
Anyone?
Wait, what's
Yeah.
best episode?
Yeah. Paper Girl.
Are we?
Paper Girl. There are so many gags in this episode. For one thing, brief synopsis, I guess. It's a side quest, I guess. Side story. Antonia and Nelson are doing paperwork, or not
Not that kind of paperwork.
completely different context. No, they're what is it? Tossing paper. Antonia doesn't want to, keep doing the thing, and that's a small, micro conflict that really does pay off
I
at the
did
end.
really like how Nelson gave her.
It's nice
so
to
much
see
shit,
it,
though,
you know.
about, like, you shouldn't go to this job even though it pays way better, and that you should stick around here and
Nah, because the news is based.
Yeah, that is
She's a
iffy.
kid. So
I
like,
mean, really, it's her choice.
I mean,
if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's her
I
choice. If
like-
anything.
I liked the dialogue
Go
for how
ahead.
they like framed it between the two. It felt kind of like Nelson was having trouble coming to grips with it, and like Antonia was trying to justify herself, but I think very valid reasons.
Yeah.
And at,
I mean, he went through a
yeah, and
change.
by the end of the episode,
And yeah, I mean, speaking of which, I mean, like it made me think of just now. Think of like the finale again, which in a way really does parallel.
oh,
Even though like Antonia
Parallel
ends up
what
coming
exactly?
back, but parallel the end with Nia leaving. I mean, yes, like Nia doesn't come back,
Or
whereas
does
Antonia
she?
does, but it just seems.
Find
God,
out
please
next year.
no.
Yeah, that is a
Season
good
15.
question. You know what?
Question?
I would hope like. I mean, they have different motives in general. Like,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it when we get there. But Antonia doesn't want to
No.
do it because she's feeling like she doesn't feel like she's
I
made for
kinda
that kind of
don't
thing.
I kind of hope Mia doesn't come back, or at least not as
Same.
human.
Yeah, Nia has no reason to come back right now. She's
And
a god. We'll talk
Just
about it.
replace her with
Well,
Skylar, man.
No, replace her with Dareth.
But yeah,
Gareth on the
Yeah, go replace with Dare. Paper Boys. I really like these guys, honestly. Like they all have like
I love
a Yorker
the one
accent.
dude.
They
I
talk
love
in
who's
slang. Oh yeah, extreme prejudice. The guy with the highest pitched voice, but he's also the tallest
Do be a
guy
meme.
there. I just find it really funny that I think I just find it really funny that they're all kids, newsboys. Yeah, paper boys basically, and paper girls, paper people, and they're talking about it like they're working on a 9 to 5
What's
shift.
funny is how like the two people are still like not there, and that they're also out on trauma leave.
That was great.
That's knuckling.
Yeah, Spokes
God, I
and
mean-
Knuckles or something.
Also,
Okay.
this episode
Paper
had
Girl-
Palmer driving.
Yeah.
All right, so Paper Girl,
Oh, yeah?
Paper Girl, greatest hits. Let's just blast through them. Okay, Gay Crosswalk,
True.
Kalmar
Oh, yeah.
driving a truck,
Yes.
failing
yes!
at it.
Kalmar literally committed suicide with
Uh.
Kai.
Kai
That was
literally
so
dies in
bad.
this episode. I love that
Kai,
scene.
yeah, Kai dies for a hot minute.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's-
Yeah, every time Nelson and Antonio throw a paper at throw a newspaper at like anybody, it's always like somebody.
The guy in
It's
the
always a
trash
gag
can just like
or a
going up
reference.
to
It's
grab
either-
the newspaper and then hiding as like 3 bolts are hitting the trash can.
Yeah, no, there was a really funny one early on where Nelson throws it and it hits the guy. It actually does cause impact, and then it just like
I love how
bounces off.
Antonia's paper misses. Like it gets destroyed. I think that's
I
really-
saw that as like blocking one of the shots.
Oh really? I just thought she was like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
care how they throw papers anywhere.
That's a nice interpretation also.
It is multiple interpretations,
Also-
of these jokes. I guess I really do like how it just like they accidentally run into
Yeah,
the,
it ties in much
Ninja.
better than the News Never
Basically.
Sleeps. News Never Sleeps, I think. Like originally, like you think it's just going to be like
Yeah.
News Never Sleeps, and then like they run into the main action, which is like a really funny way of doing it.
Yeah, it's better than them actually like going up to Wu and like telling him, and it feels like a kid insert, if anything. But here it's just they're riding around the city, and then suddenly they just run into this action scene. Yeah, this crisis happening right there. Jones.
Bro,
Oh, I
Robo
just
Five,
realized
why
there's
do
a
you,
couple
why do you
kissing.
like News Never Sleeps so much?
It's an amazing episode, but we're not gonna talk.
Oh yeah,
And the-
Gay Crosswalk and
Akira reference,
Antonia
Akira
and
reference.
Nelson doing the Akira.
And the two people
yeah, Akira
in the
reference. I think I'll
Yeah,
do
the
a.
boat.
I mean, obviously, I can't do a stream here on Ron, but like I could do a stream somewhere else of that movie. It really is good. You guys need to hit it up. It's one of the animated masterpieces of its time, I suppose. That thing costs a lot to make. I'll say that much, and you see it in every frame. It's very smooth. Another time.
Kalmar's
Can we
dialogue.
talk about
slaps.
Can we talk about what's it
How
called?
good that-
Unagami.
Oh,
Unagami,
the
yeah.
Unagami
Oh,
was
and we saw Okuno,
Unagami's
right?
still around.
That was in
Was
a
that later, or
Unagami.
was that also
It was
this
a later
episode?
episode.
Yeah.
It was
Alright,
I
alright,
think
well, we
it's
saw Unagami.
13.
Baklava. Baklava, come
Oh
on.
my
Okino
God.
appears later
No.
in the episode. In later episodes. I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
We never did see
Oh my
Diamond.
God, one thing,
he's
one
in
thing-
later episodes.
I
It's
love
weird.
how Kalmar like goes in the alleyway with the truck trying to like
It's
run
so
over run over Nelson and Antonio.
Yeah, he
Kill the
just
children.
straight up doesn't. I will say some physics didn't really vibe with me, but it's like tiny things. It's like Antonia had the amulet, and she was just like driving around or riding around, and I think there were some moments where I felt like she was like falling down, and the physics would make sense that they would just like fall off, or she would be grabbing it or keeping it from falling off. But
Yeah.
it,
I mean, maybe
doesn't
physics
really matter,
don't work the same
you know?
in the realm of
In
Ninjago.
realms of Ninjago. But yeah.
It doesn't work in realms of Ninjago. But yeah, it's just
What
like
were you saying?
oh no, I was just gonna finish off. I think it's just weird that it was like just a whole entity, it's connected. Whereas if it was like bouncing around, it
Yeah.
would have been nice. Just a little bit more effort there, but
It's also
fine.
I like
Can
how
we talk
Kalmar-
about how skilled they are? Like as driving
they're
on
so
the
good at their
bicycle?
job. It's crazy.
They just jump off the
Yeah.
fucking.
If I did
off
that,
the
I would die.
buildings.
Yeah, they're just able to skid off and
Got the
manage to make it
parkour,
work.
dude.
Yeah, the city parkour. Like they like wall run and
Like,
then
the
they
only-
just bounce off of a
Oh, that's
truck and
so
onto
true.
another like.
I mean, the only move I've done out of like their moveset, I guess, is like the Akira slide, and that's ripped my bike tires like right open. So
Their bikes are just built different for this kind of work.
and look,
I will say.
yeah, they are. Those things are just strong.
I will say
Also,
for
Kalmar's lines with Antonia are just so good.
oh,
Yeah, when-
definitely.
He asked what she is.
I got bested by a paper girl.
Surprise.
or the one
Wow.
earlier where it's like I quite dislike that child.
Bro, I also
the delivery
dislike
and like
Nelson.
the specific words. It's so good.
Oh yeah, the one where Kamar's just riding on top of a car and jumping from car to car. That
Yeah.
was great, dude. I love that. The
Paper
animation.
Girl
Yeah.
is genuinely
So good.
like
Yeah, action
one of
really
the
just
greatest episodes.
action
of
to
Seabound.
zones.
Oh yeah. Also, Fuji buff.
Yeah,
Fuji
humor. action.
Also,
Fuji- oh my God,
Bananacon.
Fuji
Bananacon.
Oh yeah, future
Not
buff.
gone.
Bro. All because of Cephasylus, we got Fujibo. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, a petition. Though. Yeah, Calm Before the Master of the Sea. This one. Should we talk about? You know, these two came together.
That's really
Paper
weird.
Girl and then
Or-
Calm
or
Before the Sea.
Master of the
Let's-
Sea, I think, right?
It's Master of the Sea. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, it's called Master.
You're
I thought it
such
was
an
Niad or
amateur,
something.
Dram.
You know, it starts off with a. I wish it started off with like a 2D short, but I think because it's so far into the past, it just doesn't
Yeah, I like
need
the
to be.
stylized version.
Like,
of
if
it.
anything, actually, no. Now that I think about it, it would have been nice if that entire animation style was just kept like paper cutting, stop motion kind of thing. It's
I
like
feel like
Fuck episode.
South Park. I wanted to say South Park, but I really don't.
Rug, you're having too much fun.
Yeah, it's a nice style. That's the best part. Yeah, I like that. It was like the first 2 minutes or so, but then when it actually got into the plot, I don't know.
bro.
I'm not sure if I liked how clearly they established the Niad sacrifice thing, because that, like, as soon as you hear that, then you're like, oh, that's probably what's going to happen to Niad. I wish they were a
Yeah.
little bit vaguer with how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a very subtle season, but at
Yeah,
the same
for
time,
sure.
it
It
still
slaps you over the
hits
head with
very
it, but
hard.
it's not like that makes
That's-
the actual
that's what's
sacrifice
important.
much worse.
It's better than like Rebooted, where the thing isn't hinted at all, and
Yeah,
he
at
just
least they
suddenly out of
established
nowhere he
it
dies.
beforehand.
Bro, this could be
I
a
do
Moro's development moment where it just comes out of nowhere.
One issue I think
Yeah.
is that first of all the backstory placement is kind of funky. Like after Kalmar getting the amulet, then we like pause right at the start of this episode to be like backstory time, and then the backstory we get is like confusing because the reason I was kind of excited for was because we're introducing this idea of like wind and water not being like original FSM elements, right? And so that suggested like it belongs to Ojiro, but then there's also a first elemental master of water, and it's like, wait, where does that come from?
I guess she just touched the amulet. I don't know.
Either that, or she was just
Yeah, but like,
connected
the thing
to
is, we
Ojiro
don't
somehow.
get that, and it's like,
And,
why make backstory if you just
yeah, it doesn't-
need more backstory after the fact?
I feel like that would be explored.
Yeah, it's
in
a weird
one of the
connection.
book.
I feel like they should have just said like, yeah, she touched the amulet and absorbed the power, and maybe somebody else managed to grab the storm amulet. And,
Aren't
Or
they
maybe
making
got the
another
power.
like
say wind and
book of
water. though.
elemental powers or something?
yeah, the entire wind and water thing is weird. I mean, I don't know if I like it or hate it, and very conflicted on that front.
It's cool.
Ah!
It's a nice explanation for season 4, but it doesn't really make sense with the storm and wave stuff. Like the water connection is feasible, but then the storm and wind, I don't really see it.
Okay, one thing that is kind of funky is like only the keepers have like the storm amulet, but both the keepers and the Merlopians have like lightning based weapons.
That is an interesting point.
No, that's
Maybe it's from those like what are they called? Those like jellyfish, I guess.
Man, that would make sense in all honesty.
Yeah, it's weird how their weapons are similar. I guess they just there's no explanation for it. But
I mean, I think it's
works.
neat.
It's fine.
Again, like the other stuff, I feel
Oh well.
like it would be a bit better if there was just a little bit of explanation for how any of the stuff with water and wind and lightning and whatnot works.
Although the keepers, their weapons just shock people, right? Whereas the tridents were like lethal.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know what it was about the tridents. I mean,
I think
yeah,
they're
keepers
about
just shock people.
the same strength because like the keepers were able to like knock out the ninja originally, right? When they first captured them.
Yeah.
The Merlopians like were
It might
shooting
just
the ninja and
Go ahead.
they were still getting affected by it, just not like immediately knocked out.
It might have something to do with like their strength or something, like how their intent, I guess. Because Kalmar, he intended to kill Trimar, but we see the ninja
Oh,
get
yeah,
blasted.
might
Maybe
not-
it's
times.
like the.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs to power up, like charge up. I mean, it is electricity, so maybe that might just be that. Which is why it's not as effective.
I mean, yeah, it's just kind of
It's
weird.
weird.
You can leave it at that.
Yeah, the episode itself. I mean, I didn't really like it. I remember when these two episodes released, I just thought Paper Girl was great, and no, I watched this one first, Master of the Sea first,
same.
and then I watched Paper Girl, which, yeah, because we'd skipped it
No, we were with
accidentally, we'd
Yuji.
missed it, and
We were watching
yeah, Master of the Sea it just doesn't hit well because it's just a lot of plot, a lot of things happening, and I mean when a show does that, I guess it doesn't hit very well because you just don't have a very good
There's also
idea of
the
what's going on.
issue
I
with
did
the
like
kind of
plot
emotions
with the
or
amulet.
subtext. Yeah, the entire thing where what is it? The amulet gets taken off screen, and also whether or not it's
I mean,
fake. I suppose it's a weird conclusion. I thought
Yeah,
the
the
Shintaro
Shintaro
part
thing
was
was
nice.
like really
Continuity.
great, and it makes sense that they'd hide it in Shintaro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, that is a
Also-
better hiding spot than the island, I guess.
It's a
I
better
mean, the
hiding
keepers
spot.
already know it's on the island.
Overall, yeah.
Okay, I had that one rant earlier. I wanted to like quickly try and find it, but I had like a whole list of reasons why the amulet fake out sucked.
I mean, yeah, like it's a fake out ending. And whenever Ninjago does a fake out ending, it's always, I mean, it's not often very good. Tournament had a good fake out ending, I feel like, because that one had
one with
some
Skylar.
kind of narrative resolution. Yeah, the one with Skylar and the one where they smashed the staff out. Sons of Garmadon had a fake out ending.
Yeah, I
That
don't
one
really
didn't
like
work
that
as
one.
well.
I'd
And
say
then-
it's the other way around for me. I like the
Yeah,
Sons
like-
of Garmadon one more.
Wait, what's this called?
Oh, yeah. Huh. It's the one where the ninja just straight up like beat
premature
Harumi and
Oh,
throw him in
that's-
prison.
Okay,
Very
let
quickly.
me think
That
about
one
it. I
was
think
kind of
it's good for Lloyd, I think. Just like the shock
Yeah.
of the next episode. But but on its own, I don't really care for it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not a plot hole
Yeah,
though
it's
in
not
that
a-
case because
Well, yeah, go ahead.
they didn't know that Garmadon came back. Like that could be overlooked compared to like Zane ignoring the fake amulet a second time.
Yeah. Okay, that was something they straight up set up before, and then they just ignored it. That was pain.
Well, I guess they were in a rush.
Yeah, I'll say Paper
Yeah.
Girl was definitely the better episode of the two, but I don't necessarily dislike the other episode. I still find that episode like pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I wonder if Zane's like did he get hit at any point in the fight? That might be you could always use that as like an explanation for why he didn't recognize the
He just
same
wasn't
amulet
just
worked or not.
scrambled.
maybe he was a little. I mean, how did fucking Kalmar even get the fake amulet?
He
Didn't
took
he?
it and
No,
then-
didn't Jay give it to him?
He just
Oh,
took it at the beginning.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jay gave it
I
to him.
thought
He still took it,
just
right?
gave it back and just went away.
No, he just
It
took
is
it
very
because he
funny
figured
how
why
he
not, I
used that
guess.
trick against
The
them.
man was thinking. Yeah, he was thinking
Doing
a
a little
couple
troll.
So we
steps
do a
ahead.
little
once.
trolling. But yeah, Monster of the Sea was pretty great.
Yeah, man does a lot of
Like, it's
them.
definitely not a terrible
Yeah.
episode, but like, it has its quirks.
the Kalmar
I like
dialogue
the-
is really funny in this one.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm. Also, like
Yeah.
seeing Shintaro was like really great, and how like it has like changed because you could see like Murtesa and Gulch, being in the castle, which implies that
And they
Yeah.
had
Oh
wings
yeah,
on
they're
too.
talking.
that was really cool.
sweet.
And you saw the Uplee, which was
Mm.
also nice.
Yeah. I suppose Shintaro's better off because now, instead of just the Munts and Giggles mining, there's also Shintarans.
I mean,
What
are
a-
they still mining though?
Ah,
I mean, they'll
they
probably
probably.
are.
I think
That's-
Brady already confirmed it.
they
said
probably
they
could
entered in a
actually
three-way
pay
partnership
the
or something.
miners and give them good food.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You would think that these Shintaran people who have never worked a day in their life would, eventually become restless and think of these lower class
Oh,
people
God.
not as
Oh, you're so.
yeah. I don't know. It just feels like Master of the Mountain's a liberal reaction to what is very clearly. We'll get back to Seabound. Calm before the storm.
Bro,
Calm
that
before the storm.
episode
Oh wait,
was
wait.
Yeah.
Can we,
Oh,
talk
I
about,
love
can we
that.
talk about the Maya and
Uh,
Neo conversation at the end of Master of the Sea?
Sure.
Because
Oh,
that
I
was
have one more
really
thing
well.
to add
That's-
after that.
Very premature, but it
Okay,
works.
so I love the scene between Ray and Kai and playing Crab Empire.
I'll miss you,
Gamer
Dad.
moment.
And then it just cuts to like them holding controllers.
that scene is so good. Like, oh my god! Like the comedy in the season is like really great compared to the
Yeah.
Robert in general.
earlier
is
seasons.
so good.
I mean, it's not of course season one
Yeah.
humor. I mean,
Well, I mean, you can't really beat. I mean, you can beat season 1 humor.
Sure.
That's
oh
what season
my
11
god!
did.
Shut up. This
I
is
mean,
why
does
I
season
have
one have
Google blocked.
Snake-tastrophe?
They're
Does season
kinda
one have
right,
Snake-tastrophe?
Does season 11
That's a good
have,
question.
TikTok?
It has
That's actually a very good
the
question.
forming.
Shut up!
Oh, true. That brings up a good point. Master of the Mountain beats it out.
What?
Yeah. Master of the Mountain beats it out. It's in a
Oh.
spoilers
What
discussion.
Oh, when
channel?
Vanya starts screaming.
What are you on?
The
Oh.
RoNCast spoilers discussion.
Oh yeah, true.
The one.
Yeah, okay. That's true. I
Yeah.
forgot about this.
Oh, that
Vanya
episode is
screaming,
so good.
such a good
The
scene.
Vanya scream, yeah, definitely.
So what were we even talking about? I just got distracted.
Or did you want to
Bro.
mention your thing, Angry?
Bro,
Yeah,
the
we've
calm
been
before
distracted by
sea.
the shadow of
I love
Moten.
The
like
storm,
all the
the storm.
locations. Like,
We could just talk about all 4 episodes all at once. I mean, I know we could split it up into 2 parts and then 2 parts.
do
first
that.
off,
First act,
Benny's
second act.
arcade Emporium. Bro, I love how Nia was there before Jay.
Yeah,
She's such a gamer.
she really is. Yeah. I think, one of my weird problems, I guess, with this, I mean, besides the fact that, like, you can see they're not wearing their suits,
I
they're
have so
scuba
much to
suits,
say about that.
and they aren't for the rest.
Who cares?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But, like, you can see that they demarcate. The first 12 episodes is, like, almost its own, like, story arc, and then the final 4 as, like, a movie that,
You've been
ends it
going.
off. No, I'm not talking about that. That was unintentional. But like the point is, like it does feel weird that they had to set up 1 through 12 as like it's
I mean-
ended with that fake out ending, but then like with the final 4, they have to make sure it's set up so that the final 4 can basically work as a little movie.
Bro, Evangelion.
I didn't mean to make this
Okay,
reference
so
again.
Calm Before the Storm. Gluttonous.
JSC.
Yeah, true. Oh, that's so sad now.
It was
Bro,
it was
the
a really
gluttonous
really
scene where he's
heartwarming
drinking
scene
the
when we
coffee.
watched it, and like now up to the finale, it hurts.
Desolate Kataru emote.
Desolate car, yeah, get those out.
Bro, gluttonous drinking drinking out
Are
of
those
the
done?
mug is like one of the
Commissioners.
funniest shit ever. Like, oh, I love that so much.
I love the opening scene of that episode where it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I
it's
was
just so
surprised there
cool.
was no intro, but I do like the opening scene of that. Like, it works better than an intro.
very nice little capstone. It's nice that the 2020 season is like 12 episodes between 2 specials. Basically.
So, I mean,
You know.
I feel like this episode
Yeah.
had like some really great things, like Jay and Nia dancing, the glutinous stuff. Who could forget about glutinous?
I love the ninja working on the vehicles and like.
Oh, that
it
scene
just
is
fucking
also like,
blows
really
up.
funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Kai and Lloyd have a little funny banter
It'll
moment
take
there
4 days, maybe 5.
5.
without talking.
Oh,
that
this was
scene
the
was
episode
so
where
great.
Okino appeared.
Oh, true.
Okino reference pog.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and
He
like
did.
more generally, I think this episode and the next few confirm that like the Prime Empire people are just like able to
Vibing.
be in Ninjago.
Just
Yeah,
grill.
we see the cat girl in the arcade.
I guess they just popped
Mhm.
out. I'm pretty sure like I don't know, Unagami must have like just like duplicated them or something and then
Bro,
sent
when
them
will
out.
we get
What if
Okino?
Unagami has his
just had
own
the
like
program.
clothing line?
Yo,
Yeah.
Okino's fashion, man.
The man does
Got
have the
that drip.
Ninjago drip.
Bro, I would buy Okino's
Yeah.
drip, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's nice that this episode's set up like, you know, the big old
Yeah.
Wojira thing.
Also, Jaya Cannon.
True.
Oh yeah.
Electric
Okay,
Jay.
at first
cannon.
I thought it was cringe, but in hindsight, it's kind of based.
Rog, how could you possibly think that?
Yeah, it's weird that they say Jay.
I don't know. It was just the people saying it like in the background.
They do explicitly. Yeah, it feels
Yeah,
weird
and-
to
But
say Jaya.
it's based.
Sorry.
It's based.
I was
Okay.
I mean, even like just normally saying Jaya is just weird and
I
saying
was
it authentically.
expecting the dance move to
Mm.
have a more direct payoff. I guess like them actually redoing it or something. But
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's a little late. They just had one moment. It's a sweet moment. It's not.
What are you?
It's not supposed to
What
be.
did Alex just post?
Damn.
I don't want.
I mean, I guess it pays off after
Yeah.
Prime Empire.
yeah,
Oh, fuck, dude.
the short.
What do we
It's just-
What do we think about like the
Yeah.
kind of flashback as described by Glutinous about Calamar awakening Woodview?
That was interesting. I mean,
I love
It's
how it
fine.
flashback. That was really cool.
I love
was
how it
worried
ends
that it would
up
just
with
happen
him
off screen,
laughing.
but-
Like how Glutinous
Yeah,
just
me
ends up
too.
laughing. That was
Yeah.
like really great.
Mm.
But yeah, this episode's great. I don't
I love
have
how
much
Glenn is
F14 maybe?
like, I made some poor career choices.
Bro, this do be me when choosing schools.
You were choosing.
This do be me with choosing monitor.
So true.
Oh my god. Shall we
Yeah.
move on to the next episode then?
Oh,
I guess
yes.
We get
Bro,
the
you
return
know
of a fan favorite.
what's up with this episode.
Oh hell yeah.
I saw
Rog
it
is
in
definitely
Ninjago
just
City.
doing this because of Dareth.
Sure.
Rog, just say it already. Just say what you liked about this episode.
I'm gonna be honest. Their part was my least
God, what a
favorite part of the episode. I'm not even like. It was funny. It was funny.
I love how they make that-
funny, but-
They make the explicit
Shut up,
reference that
Butch.
they haven't
Okay,
seen
that was
in
really
a
funny.
while.
Yo, Dareth, this is one of the best season and like best Dareth season.
I love how we see the postman in the background of those days. Yeah.
He must have drowned.
That's why he wasn't
he?
at the funeral. Yeah.
That's why he's out of the
God.
funeral.
And Nicole's
There you
dad
go, he's-
wasn't
he's
at the
dead finally.
funeral either. Like Lou wasn't there either.
Oh shit! Oh shit! He might have had a funeral at the same time.
Oh no!
Oh god! Everybody in the city just went to Nia's funeral. We
Oh my
went to
god!
Postman's
Lou
funeral.
was the
Holy
only
shit.
one who went to his funeral then. Oh,
Oh boy!
Oh,
I
no.
can't believe
my
we just
God,
uncovered this.
no.
Oh my god, I love how Wojira looks. She looks so cool.
God.
Bro, Wojira really looks great.
All right. Can we get an edit to the to the Ninjago
Postman
wiki?
is-
The postman died.
like
It's
the
strongly
red
Strongly
eyes.
implied he's dead.
No one went to his funeral. No one went to his funeral.
No.
No, best
God,
Dareth
man.
season is season
It's-
season 1, where he
No,
wasn't
I
there.
hate you. I'm like, all is right in the world.
Rog, that was so rude.
Tired of the Dareth slander.
Graham, do you want to rant
Hmm.
about the scuba suits with me?
Oh yeah, scuba suits are bad. Yeah, they should be wearing their
just did
scuba suits. They're
spinjitzu.
prepared and all.
They just
You're
did
going to
spinjitzu.
you're going to
Right,
a
Witcher?
flooded city. You have scuba suits that work underwater, but
They needed to go
What
that
if they
fast.
ran
They
out of
weren't thinking
oxygen?
clear.
well then that's how we could still get
Good
the J
point.
scene, but also have the scuba suits. There could have
Yeah.
been ways they could have worked around it, but they just
Overall,
didn't
they're
do it
not-
for some reason.
Well, the season 11 suits are cooler, so
It's a
nothing
weird
of
choice.
value was lost.
I guess that's why they weren't on the
Yeah.
poster either. They just straight up didn't
Maybe-
model one up.
I mean, they were like leaving
well.
really quickly.
I gotta say, the little submarines. I mean, I think this has been brought up before, but they're kind of
No,
they're ugly.
I like the mini
A little ugly.
submarines.
They're very
This is
Well.
slander.
I like that they were canon at
Yeah.
all. I wasn't expecting them to be.
Yeah. Poor Lloyd.
Yeah, I really
Poor
wasn't.
Lloyd. Wait, Nia didn't get one
Uh,
either, right?
his
No,
didn't
Nia was
canon.
the only one. Nia's was
Yeah,
the
Nia
only
didn't
one
need
that
one.
was
either,
in a
right?
super suit.
Yeah. Why would Wu need one?
Yeah,
He
you
isn't
can-
even in
No,
the set,
you have the
I think.
Woobot. Don't forget about the Woobot.
Oh yeah, that is our.
Oh
Wu
yeah, we have the
representation.
Wu bots.
Yes, we got 2 Woobots.
Yeah, that's our Wu representation. I would have liked it if they, that manta ray that appears early in the season. That would have been nice as a Lego set.
We get like a miniature
well.
version, I think, but
Yeah,
but
I think we got like 2
Manta Ray.
mini manta rays, one in
Yeah.
the sub bounty and one in the city.
Mm. Okay, back to the show discussion. We got
Poor
some guys
Angry.
feeling left out right now. Yeah, the sub car, which is technically also set discussion. We'll
Grammatical,
make
shut
this
up.
a compromise. That thing really just kind of
Bro.
stank. Huh.
Dara was really based in this season. I have nothing episode. I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, it's really nice to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see him back.
This
And,
episode was just really great.
weird
I
just
have
to see, like-
nothing else to say. I also
Also? Oh, are you serious?
also
Did you do it
really
again?
like how
Yeah, what a big
Gojira
brain
looks
genius.
with the red eyes and the blue eyes. Like they're both really creepy.
It's a neat way to convey
Yeah.
that she's like
And,
manipulated.
I'll say she's probably better than the Great Devourer.
She was
Even
more
though it
nice.
hurts me so much.
Baklava admitting the inferiority of something
Nah,
from
just
Rise of the
kidding.
Snakes.
Great Devourer is better. He has a cool
Oh, no.
backstory with Garmadon.
Moment when. Man, we already have you on
Yeah.
tape. You got
No,
caught down bad in
no,
4K.
Season 1 superiority. Besides maybe an animation. Maybe animation. Just because season 13
Maybe
and
animation,
season
sure.
14 was-
Yeah, I like general
it's just
stuff
a
in this
general
episode, I
great
guess.
episode.
Subcar
just like
gets
the
blown up.
episode before.
And then Ep 15.
Oh,
We get into
yeah.
the real finale, huh?
Oh. Oh.
Nia.
Yeah. This is real nice.
The transition from 14 into 15 with the
I'm really glad to.
like Nia attacking Kalmar, very awesome.
Oh, I love that shot of Gojira.
It's a nice way to move through. Yeah.
Well,
Overall,
Yeah,
very
that's-
nice.
episode 15 was
Yep.
fantastic.
Yeah, she just. I don't have anything really to say. I mean, it's a nice moment. She died. Yeah, I had to rewatch this one actually. I was rewatching like Turn of the Tide a couple times because it was a nice fight and then the final goodbye. But like, it really does have a really good emotional moment when she actually jumps
When
into
she
the water.
leaves.
Oh my god, that scene was so good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the part where the water comes out of Jay's mouth, that fucking on, that felt like a 2D animated thing. Like just like not like a 2D animate. I mean, no, not like the 2D animated episodes in this show, but like you know what I mean, right? It felt like a painting, I guess.
Let me-
Anyone got a screenshot?
Yeah, it looked
It looked nice.
I love how he's
I'm
like, then you're the commissioner, you fucking suck.
Oh yeah, I legit thought Dareth was gonna rat out.
Oh,
Darren has
yeah.
never
That's not
ratted
Scab.
out the ninja. He is
He's a king.
so true to them.
Oh, I fucking love Darren.
The Chad. But no, it's because he's not known, but the commissioner's known, and so he would take a picture with the ninja, and that's what screws him over, huh?
No, but the ending
how you
scenes
do
are
it.
just so good. Like
What?
everything between Nia and Jay is so great. Like the dialogue is fantastic. Like I wish we had more time. Like that's just such a great connection to just Nia's arc overall, where it's just like she wishes she had like more that she could do, and like more time to be with Jay and more time to be herself and like all of those things, and she just doesn't have it. But like she recognizes that and like she accepts that and does what she can with it.
Yeah, and she just gives
I
herself
love
up.
how there's
It's a
like
really nice moment.
no
at the end, where
resemblance
she,
to the
finally
season
becomes-
5 like future reflection. Like that's amazing.
Oh yeah, she just straight up
Yeah.
says bye.
Also,
you know?
people who are mad about Jay online perpetually stay mad because we got Nia kissing Jay, we got an I love you, we got her crying.
I can't believe Jay is toxic.
It's on.
It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I
a
don't know
final
if I'm
final
gonna be
moment
able
for
to
him.
rewatch
It's very
Skybound.
sweet. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I guess I guess I'm gonna compare it again. It did remind me of like, say, Watchmen. You know, Dr. Manhattan, kind of like getting blown up in a moment. Yeah, she loses her humanity and becomes a god. It's a very nice kind of moment.
I am glad that they gave her more reason that they
Yes.
had the whole Jay potentially dying thing. That gave her more reason than just,
Yeah.
let's stall Wojir and figure out a different way. Like there was not another way that they could have.
Yeah, it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I can do this. But I mean, she, like, if Jay hadn't, drowned a little bit, she would have she would have considered it, because, it is too big a risk
I mean,
to consider.
I think she would have gotten to it eventually, but Jay is a good way of making it dramatic and intense.
Like, they would have tried to not, what is it? They would have tried not to go immediately to turning into water, but because of Jay, she has more of an
Maybe they
emotional
would use that
reason
shrinking pill first.
to kind of lose her. Yeah, shrink Wojira.
Kalmar eats
I think that would
and
work.
runs away.
What would Kalmar do? Oh boy.
Sorry, a quick thing about
Oh,
the
boy.
water in Jay's lungs. I think the point was that Nia had to use all of her own water for everything, because Wojira's water was something she had trouble controlling, or she would have to fight
true.
against it.
Oh yeah, that's
So-
a good point.
Because as far as I can remember in all of the episodes we see when Nia's fighting, she's using her own water against Wojira and Kalmar, and she's using that water as platforms, or using that as blasts, right? And so when she's trying to draw out the water from Jay's lungs, she can't, because it's not her water.
I like the parallel of her inhaling water while
mean-
Jay exhales it.
Oh yeah, that was
I
awesome.
mean, when you consider it, Jay does. He just gets drowned in the same water that Nia's using, technically. No, wait, no. The storm water.
Yeah, no, but the
okay.
parallels, the air and water.
Yeah.
Especially how Kalmar says destroy everyone who breathes air, right? And then in the end Nia's just kind of rejecting that, he can't stop her.
That is
Yeah.
nice.
Ironic, since Kalmar still breathes as air.
No, but only air. Only air.
Yeah, if you can't breathe two things at
Honestly,
once, you're an
no,
inferior species.
no.
Were you going to say that's based?
What are you gonna
No. Oh god.
But the
Rog
fact
has
you
been
wanna
flipped
explain
and cancelled.
We got
Good
you on
job.
record,
Oh
man.
god.
Yeah, we already did the baklava.
I'm
It's
gonna
only one
get
episode.
canceled.
Love bait.
I'm going to cancel
love
you
bait.
on Twitter, man.
Oh god.
Okay, let's get back on topic.
Kino.
Final episode. Good fight.
Very poggers.
Yeah, she gets blown up twice.
I'm surprised that they reacted so negatively the second
Yeah,
time.
she gets blown twice.
They should be aware that she's not gone by any means.
I
Yeah,
kind
she's
of
a
wish
lot
there was
greater
something
than that,
more
I
to
guess.
do
Goes
with
back
Kai.
to-
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be that in the next season.
Each time, when something happens to me, I want to see more of also Kai instead of just only Jay.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
think
I
this
sure
is-
do understand
yeah.
when
Oh, it's
the
gonna
other
be Kai.
ninja don't like go immediately there, but like Kai is literally her brother. Like they have been, she and him just like they're brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Speaking of that, like, yeah, at the end you have Maya and Jay sharing a talk, but like the thing about Kai is that he's known her for at least like 17
Kai
years or something.
literally was like I can't lie, I'm lost for words right now.
They technically raised each other. I have no idea how it is about the raising part because like they say like, you know, I mean you would imply that, you know, he raised her, but then in possession they
That's
mention that
literally
like, she raised
not
I'm
him, kinda like
imagining
It's
Nia
not
just putting diapers
possible.
on a 5-year-old Kai.
That is literally not possible
Oh, boy.
that Nia
Yeah.
raised Kai.
I don't know, it's like a Katara kind of
No,
situation.
it's
Katara
literally,
Sokka.
it's literally impossible,
guess because,
which
you
is
know-
why we shouldn't consider possession as canon.
So true.
That's actually a better way to look at
We
it.
just
Yeah.
forget about season 6.
But
as
yeah,
well.
no, it's they've got
I
a
mean,
clear
No offense, I agree. But
Yeah,
if
they've got a
we're
close relationship.
considering season 5 non-canon, we gotta consider season 6 also non-canon.
Oh,
Well, then
no.
this season can't be canon because Nia was never made a Master of Water.
Oh no!
All right. Anyways,
Sath is
yeah, true. Anyways, we can, if we're not going to consider season 6 canon, all of us are basically members of the season 6 army
So I guess
patrol
we're
thing.
I guess we're hunted and
We
season
can line up-
15 fans now.
We can line up an army. We can line up a firing
So-
squad here.
okay,
Just,
so- Jay attacking
that's it.
Kalmar, very awesome. We
No,
love
yeah.
to see him
oh, that owns.
using his emotions.
So true.
Oh, that
That's
was
what I
really
wanted in
nice.
Proud
Yeah, there's a
Empire, dude.
certified-
That's
I mean,
what I wanted.
There's a trademark.
And we got it.
Yeah, there's a copyrighted, you know, Wild Brain one take in this.
Oh, those are so good.
Love those.
Yeah, I love how they've been doing the one takes like
Yeah.
since Master of the Mountain now.
Yeah.
Yeah, each one has just been good.
Oh yeah,
think
Bentomar. Bentomar was great.
This one,
in
I
this.
felt
Oh,
like-
yeah,
my
Bentamar was
God,
a part of
totally
it, and then like
forgot
he
about
also got to
Benfo.
take part in the final fight.
Yeah, he's like basically the one who indirectly killed Kalmar.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, Master of the Mountains one take might have been better, but like
When's
they both do
Kalmar
hit very
turned white?
nicely.
That's a real question.
Yeah.
You heard him, right?
I-
His
I-
bones
I-
are
I
broken.
could not
Sound
confirm that. Can anyone confirm that?
I'm gonna go back and listen right now.
Yeah, I can't confirm it, but I heard someone tell them,
let
someone
me-
say that his bones were broken. But also, she got
I mean,
fucking
to be fair,
obliterated.
like-
only she got obliterated. Maybe he fell into the water.
Did you see all the dust that just like
It's not like
you know,
power of her
dissipated?
body still.
He was in
Yeah, I
this
mean,
stuff. and he was dead.
Magic!
She's just
Magic!
Yeah, Bentamar finally confronting
Like if the entire body.
Kalmar with the fact that he killed their father and saying like you're not my brother is I think really powerful.
Oh, that's
Like
awesome.
turning it around on
Yeah,
him.
nice poetry. It's poetry.
True.
It
He
rhymes.
just got owned.
Yeah, it's poetry. It's
Thanks,
rhymes.
George Lucas.
I'm trying. Sometimes
I love how Nia targets the
we gotta make it.
though.
We gotta make it rhyme.
Yeah, no, Seth is saying that lightning crack was not bones cracking. So you're wrong, grammatical. He could still be alive and might.
Okay, yeah, it was lightning cracking. Yeah.
Does he even have bones? He's like
What
a
is it?
squid.
Oh god, I could milk this impression.
Oh, one thing I liked, with Nia taking like the multiple forms and like disappearing for a bit, not only did that give time for the other characters to do stuff, right? But it was also great because it kind of suggests that she's like still getting used to her powers as being one with the ocean, and that she's like charging up each of her new forms. And I think that idea is super cool.
Oh yeah, and the fact that she's like, what is it? She says at the end that getting used to her forms or trying to sustain a form is a little hard for her.
Yeah.
Bro,
So yeah,
her dragon forms
It does
really
feel like-
looked cool.
once again,
though.
Dr. Manhattan, I guess.
Like it really
I
looked
love the
nice.
imagery when it starts raining and she like forms out of the rain.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I mean, she's definitely going with the flow.
and yeah, yeah.
You like that one, Baklava?
Emotion.
Oh my god, I love you so much.
I mean, yeah, but symbolically, it's also super cool that after becoming a dragon, she goes back to being, and like then being a disembodied cloud, she goes back to being a representation of herself for like one last blow on Gojira.
And then
Yeah.
for one last goodbye.
Man, this
essentially, which
scene,
is really nice.
that scene was just so emotional, emotional.
It was. It might be.
Emotional.
I don't know if I've. Yeah, no, it's better than the rebooted scene.
Yeah, we're finally getting to it, but I do think
It's like hands down better than the
everything
reboot.
else. I think Seabound definitely tops it.
I think Seabound had some very good music too in this.
Yeah,
finale.
true. But
Okay,
I mean,
someone was
compare.
asking how was this compared to Zane's sacrifice? Like,
So much
is it better? Is it worse?
Yeah, it's
I feel like Zane's
Nice,
was
we lined up.
immediately, you knew what was going, you knew
Yeah.
the sad, whereas the solemnness of this doesn't appear until after.
Yeah, he's a robot, first of all.
I'll say
honestly the sacrifice
Yeah.
was kind of like good, but
I
the funeral,
definitely
both were
preferred
amazing.
Zane's
I mean, like-
because I'm not saying.
Yeah, I was thinking about it again. Yeah, I was thinking about it again, but like, season 4 was like Zane's return. I feel like they could have pushed it back, and maybe at the end it turns out Zane's being used for something, and they have to let him go. I feel like they're gonna do letting Nia go like next season. So hopefully it goes
mean,
the
But
right
dramatically,
direction.
you
this time.
forget that Zane is a copy. I win the argument.
Yeah, that.
no, this is
Okay,
what
yeah,
you
fine. I
know.
like that part of the tournament.
The thing with
I like tournament, even though it's very flawed in retrospect. Like more flawed than I imagined, and I do like that part where he what is it? I do like his arc where he realizes he's a copy,
Yeah, I
but
love
he
that.
can still be Zane.
the thing with Zane's sacrifice is
But-
like it doesn't have like a build up, because like Nia says like, oh, she needs to do this because first half she needs to save Jay, next half she needs to save Ninjago as well.
Yeah, it goes all the way back to episode 4, so like
Yeah,
it's pretty
and-
nice.
The one with Zane's, it
Mm.
just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
At the very least, it
well,
defines
actually,
part
I
of like a
think
really good
at the
season.
start of the Titanium Ninja, he's like, "Oh, my heart's reaching critical mass" or something.
Yeah.
And then there's the numbers line and
Yeah.
family.
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah,
I
that
will
is
say-
basically just
only
hinting
within
at it.
that episode. That's a rebooted moment.
Even
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's still
Well, there's a
it's too
lot
little,
of
almost
focus
too
on
late.
Zane's power
It's
source.
very
Like I talked about this with Yumi a while back. It's not that him like sacrificing himself wasn't like set up at all. It's more that his like mentality and like the explanation for why he decided to like suddenly sacrifice himself. That's the part that wasn't set up. Not so
Yeah.
much like the mechanics of it itself.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't feel. I mean,
No,
you could set it
definitely
up
do that,
actually.
for
I mean,
sure.
he would feel expendable. Yeah. What with the Ninjroid thing? He feels expendable. He feels useless. He feels obsolete almost. And then
maybe
he just
he
proves
is
them wrong by
useless.
They could have set up
No,
something
no.
with him, his power source and the golden power interacting
Yeah.
or something.
I will
Mm.
say both that.
Yeah. I mean, he sacrifices half his power source. Back to Moten.
Yeah, but I will say
Back to
both
Seabound.
Seabound.
Look, I think about that season a lot too.
And Nia's sacrificing. They both had like both the memorial scenes were like really great.
Oh, I love about this one is that you
Yeah.
can hear Wu's voice like cut out for a sec. Like he hesitates. He's like, "Oh, we weren't able to save her," or something.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
was
I
good.
really like how
Oh, yeah,
Wu
he
also like
cracks.
does a lot of stuff because
Sure.
he and Nia were like, especially in season 1, they were always on the bounty.
Oh yeah, they were really
together,
close.
talking and stuff, and he
Yeah.
was probably
Like,
training.
yeah,
Nia
that's
as
the
well.
thing. Like, Nia's always had a very strong relationship with like the entire team. You have like his relationship or her relationship with Wu, her relationship with
Lloyd.
Kai, Jay,
Yeah,
even Cole,
yeah.
Lloyd. I mean, Zane
Yeah.
maybe not Zane, but like at the
And
same
Pixel.
time, she can have a
I
decent
think this
relationship.
happened
Oh yeah,
like,
Pixel.
so much later.
So like
too.
Yeah, it just feels weird because she has such a strong connection to all of them that removing her out of the picture, it feels. That's why it also really hits.
Yeah.
And that's why it
No,
owns.
no.
She has such a strong relationship with them.
Oh god.
I'm
So
sad.
it feels like an
I'm
actual
sad.
hole in the cast.
No, I
Samu
definitely
pointed out that,
one thing.
Nia could control ice, and now she can't.
Well, yeah.
I
I mean, I'm pretty sure she can
it's not
still.
like it would have ever.
She could probably do it
been
eventually.
useful.
You already have Zane. Who cares about Nia?
don't think too much about the like literal controlling ice, but
The South,
one
like, except
no, but one thing we were talking about in like Krusty server was that it leads the through line from like Skybound possession and Skybound to like Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu and then Seabound, where she's like embracing her identity as the Master of Water. That is done really
Yeah.
well with Seabound's conclusion.
I think.
Yeah, she really embraced
He
that
was
Master
like-
Water role. Huh.
Oh, like in season 6,
Yeah.
like everyone treated her as just the girl ninja, and then now they're all like at the funeral paying respects to who she is now. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Oh, sorry.
One
Yeah.
thing I still don't. I'm still not like. I wish Kai had more of a moment.
I'm sure
Hmm.
that's gonna happen later.
Yeah. I wish they just like. I've seen people like want to write something in like where he's like having a scene. I feel like it would be better if he just straight up wasn't there and then he comes out late.
Maybe
You know,
that'd be cool.
like he's yeah, you know he doesn't come to like talk or comfort his mother or anything, and then he just at the end he comes late with his cup and he pours it in at the end
For him to be kind of like in denial.
because he's clearly
Yeah, I like the idea of him
Yeah.
being in denial because he's the first one to suggest that, oh, we can fix this, we can do this. And it might not really set in on him that, oh, this isn't going to just magically get fixed.
and once again he's got a close relationship and with the entire we said this earlier, right? He doesn't really
Oh,
like losing people and he's
Remember,
very protective, I guess, compared to Nia who literally just let
remember
herself go. She
season
moved
10
on.
when like he's like
Damn.
when Cole falls, he's like, oh, we have to go back.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
He just goes berserk almost. And Zaynet's he's always been an emotional character, and I mean from the get-go he's had this like arc where he wants to protect he joined to protect his
Oh
sister.
yeah, I didn't even think about that.
After all.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's a whole thing where it just carries over completely.
Yeah, kind of thinking about Kai being in denial.
I think
Should also move a little bit back to the scene with Nia on the rooftop.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
That hurt a lot to just
Oh,
see,
yeah.
I mean, not only to see Jay not be able to like really touch her or be with her, but also just the other ninja and Wu trying to get her to stay. And at every step of the way, it's just no, she's being pulled to the ocean. That's who she is, and that's where she belongs now.
Yeah.
Society, if
Yeah.
the writers didn't forget
Yeah.
they were brothers and sisters.
Nah, that's gonna be
Nah, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, I hope next season opens up with a nice, kind of intro. I mentioned this before, but like it would own if it was just like if he was introduced again,
Oh,
like
that'd be-
swimming in a pool or something. And it's not sad. You put everything together.
It's
them
funny
just,
how
like,
we
at the beach or
literally
something.
at the same
Nice
day
subtle
got
one.
Gold Rush.
Oh,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking
Oh, yeah.
hate Ninjago
Oh, that hits
right
even
here.
better. I don't know, like a beach would be too happy. I feel like
Or in the,
an indoor
in the,
swimming
in
pool.
the bell.
you get
I
no.
know, it might be just me, but I like
you
to
get no music.
interpret, like,
It's
the
just
Gold Rush as
they're
a
swimming.
dream of Kai after Nia went away.
Oh.
I just like to think of it like that.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I think you could probably put it somewhere in between season 7 and season
Or
8.
that.
But
I
you
mean,
know,
it's not definitely not
yeah, it
possible
hit.
to be actually
might be-
canon.
It would own if it was like actually just him
But it could
remembering
just
it
be a
again.
dream, a random dream. Missing his X1 and
Yeah.
Nia.
God, it hits. Real nice.
They did that on purpose. They had to.
I don't know about missing his X1. The X1's already screwed up. Man shouldn't be dreaming about
Man,
the worst
literally
thing.
dreaming about his X1 and his long gone sister. This do be a Kai moment.
Yeah, that would hit. Actually, yeah, it's a flying car. You're right. It's probably.
So-
I hate to interrupt, but I'm glad we got through all the episodes
Oh,
because
well.
I have to depart right now. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bro, is this a reference to when Wu
Alright.
says
Oh,
let's
no.
depart?
We have
And then
Or is it a reference to when?
is this a reference?
they had the departed.
Is it a
Oh, the
reference to
best
Day of the
season.
Departed? Ah,
Of
we'll see you in the
course.
Departed
Well-
realm, man. Hopefully we can.
Well,
Yeah, see ya. I'll be headed
what
to
are
Temple
we?
Resurrection
Okay,
there. But yeah.
so
Any summary?
what are we going to like? How much out of 10 are we going to give Seabound?
I don't
I
like
just-
doing that.
I
don't
hate
like-
out of 10 rankings.
Yeah,
No.
it's A tier.
Yeah, It makes me have to think it over again.
Okay, how about
Really?
S or A or B tier?
A tier, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the out of 10 ranking though. It's like a
All right, dude.
7.75.
I'll give
I
it
hate
a-
it, but you have to try to do these things. 7.75 or 8. It's so close, but the middle section
I
really
saw some
drags it
people
down.
talking. I think they were saying 7.5 in the Seabound chat.
That made me triggered. Honestly, come on.
I'm really close to giving it an 8, but it's just I don't want to do it because there are really there are parts that aren't
6 out of 10.
striking to me and parts that I really like.
What?
Yo,
No,
what?
The thing is, I feel like people are ranking
Okay,
it so
yeah.
low. It's because it's
Yeah,
not
I
season
guess
one.
it's all relative, to what you think certain numbers mean.
Yeah.
Because it's
That-
different for what everyone thinks.
Oh yeah, Rug.
Yeah.
I told you my thoughts.
Yeah,
Yesterday or
your
2 days ago. Yeah, I was thinking I'm probably going to put her in A just because I think the finale is a really good send off for her. I'm really
Let's
happy with
go.
it.
Yo,
let's go!
angry as a basic
And-
opinion
like,
for
I-
Yeah,
once.
that's the best
Good
part.
opinions today.
It really is the best part.
I feel like as someone who has Nia as my favorite character, I think I
Wait,
was
you
really
do?
happy with how Seabound ended her story, and the fact
She is
and
a
the
solid
fact
character.
the fact that it
I mean, she's one of the-
emotionally hits hard and also leaves you thinking okay, she's in a good place and we're proud of what she did and we're happy for her. I think is
Yeah.
is a remarkable achievement considering how sad it otherwise is.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll definitely put it in A tier as well.
Yeah.
I don't even know what seasons I have on A tier, but
Yeah.
I'm
whatever.
just gonna
Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning. I mentioned at the beginning. It's
I'd
right
say
Oh,
below
I
even
some
don't
or
have
drama.
better.
SOG
I don't
that
Really?
high. I don't think SOG is that good.
I have to think it over because that means putting it over tournament. But then I realized
I'm
tournament isn't
really.
that great either.
I don't know
but
about tournament. It's great, but how?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
The
beats out
thing with tournament
honestly.
is the ending
It
is
really does.
And just I don't know.
what's that ending of tournament, man?
I mean, yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, with tournament, I actually kind of like the ending because
Okay, the
it's
Garmadon
a
sacrifice
closure to his
is really
Garmadon arc
great,
or
and just
Garmadon's
the
arc.
thing with that's just really great.
Yeah, there's some issues with the whole thing though. Yeah, but with tournament, I have to remember this. There are good episodes, and then
What's
there are
wrong
episodes like
with
Ninja Ball Roll.
Ninja Ball Roll, Ninja Roll.
I don't
think.
mind Ninja Ball Roll. It's not that bad.
You
I can't
combine
remember what the
Ninja
name
Ball
is.
Run and
It's
Ninja Roll.
No,
kinda-
Ninja Ball Run is
Yeah.
based.
For me, it's a spy for a spy. That
I don't
episode
know,
is
there's
pretty
something about it.
poopy.
Oh yeah, that one is pretty. It just
Okay.
not
no,
fun to play a
Actually, I
manga
take
or
back.
watch people
that
play
had the
mangas.
one of the best Dareth moments in the show. But besides
Did
that,
she die? Oh my god! Of
Dareth was
course, the
"The
Deref hater
savages!"
puts episode that saves Deref at a very low spot. Of course.
Dareth's actions in Tournament of Elements was haram.
So true. The comedy
Ah.
the man with the oh god.
the man really just
Yeah.
fired up his Elvis, huh?
For me, I think it's if I compare the ending of Seabound to the beginning of Tournament of Elements, I think they're at the least comparable. But I think the beginning of Seabound is a bit more interesting overall. It's a more well-rounded product than the end of Tournament of Elements. And I think the middle section of Seabound is still pretty engaging and entertaining compared to the Tournament of Elements.
So are you saying you like it more
Yeah.
than Tournament of Elements, or do you think?
Yeah, I
it's-
think I'd put it above Tournament of Elements and
Like-
probably below Sons of Garmadon.
The question
Yeah, I
is
think that's
better than
totally
season
reasonable.
13?
All right.
No.
No way. You can't
I
get
do-
better
I
than
mean,
that.
season 1. There's always season 1. That's
I think-
always on the top. Let's
I
be
think
honest.
season 13 is lower lows but higher highs, I guess.
Oh, I actually heard some
Yeah.
people say that Seabound has higher highs, but Master of the Mountain is more consistent.
I
I don't
agree.
know. I don't know.
I
They're
would
both
say
so good.
season 13 has like less lower lows. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd agree
is,
with
like,
that. I
very
think Master of the
consistent.
Mountain never really gets to like the confusing points that some of the Seabound lore gets to, or like Kalmar
Just
and
don't be a
Wojira
stupid
are kind of disappointing in my opinion.
Kalmar's
Yeah.
base. Kalmar's
I think
base.
no. I mean, my personal opinion is basically like I like certain elements in Master of the Mountain because it really does feel like the villain is controlling more. He's holding his holding the characters in their in an uncomfortable region, or in an uncomfortable place. So that might be why I enjoy the 2 seasons, but yeah, overall Seabound.
I
be a
felt like
tournament.
hesitation in your voice when you said that.
Mm.
But yeah, I'd say it's even with
I got
Stog.
I am
I'll
pro
say
tournament, and
the
I
worst
regret to
thing
inform
about
you, or
Seabound
regret to say this.
is that it's not season 1. It's just it drags it so low. Like it could be season 1 if it wanted to, but it's not.
Yeah,
season
it is
1.
what it is. Well, I mean, the closest we've gotten to season
Oh
1 is
my
season
God,
11, and that's pretty good
I'd
enough.
argue
No,
Hunted
no,
is more
no,
like
no.
season 1 than for the Spinjitzu.
I like how people complain about season
The hell? Sorry.
14, like big evil
Season
guy.
14? You mean
feels big
Seabound?
monster.
Yeah, C14.
Oh, we should make that clear.
Seabound season 14. Don't at me.
Bro, it is season 14. Just be. It's season 14
Alright.
part 2.
Well, I guess that is where we're gonna wrap this up. I do not want to hear any more of this. Anyone
No
want to
more
plug their
Brayden.
Twitters
RoNCast
or?
Twitter account.
Oh yeah, we should plug that.
Oh yeah,
What is
plug that.
the specific
Yeah,
name?
It's
Twitter at
Wait,
RoNCast.
let me just double check out.
Oh
I
my
should
God.
The
remember it,
RoNCast.
but
I think it's
The RoNCast pod.
It should be in the description if this ever gets uploaded.
I got it.
Yeah, so the Ron.
Yeah, Baklava. You tweeted out. You tweeted out something pretty based.
Okay, I just want to give a shout out to myself because I'm very based.
Yeah, let's shout this out. Yeah,
I do.
Baklava, you have a Twitter, right?
And please don't follow me on Twitter. I want to
Awesome.
keep it. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to see drama. Please leave me alone on Twitter.
How about you,
I
Rod?
deleted
You
it
got
and
a
I
Twitter?
just basically hijacked the Ron Twitter.
Oh, that's a smart move. That is a smart
I got
move.
a
What about you,
Twitter,
Angry?
It's just Angry Star and then underscore.
Is that Angry
Yeah.
Bird Star a reference to?
Okay,
JoJo?
I do not have a
Yeah,
Twitter.
this guy is.
I
the
have not had a
smartest
Twitter
person
for a
in the
year.
call.
Yeah, I simply, I did have a Twitter. I spent a lot of time trying to make bits or get mad at things, but then I realized, this is really counterproductive, man.
You know what's not.
I
you
gotta
know what's
build
not
something.
counterproductive?
I
Watching
gotta
Seabound. Go
vent
do it
out.
again.
True. No, I'm gonna be sad. if I
True.
do
Yeah,
that.
do it.
You know
Let's
what's
go.
even better than watching Seabound?
I do have
Watching
an
season
Instagram.
1. Just take the 4 away and you watch
Honestly,
season
on
1.
our
Want to be clear. I may not have a. Yeah, I want to be clear. I may not have a Twitter, but I do have an Instagram. Follow me there. I have channeled my energy from Twitter posting to
It's
He's
underscore
still
playable
grammatical,
Legos.
by the way.
yeah, smart
Anyway,
move.
I think we're gonna head off for today.
Yeah,
Good
See ya.
yeah. See you guys.